And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Where Heartbreak Feels Good. This time, we're back with our top 10 series for Marvel Studios, both the films and the shows. So it's going to be a really interesting one. It's fun. It's fun like that.
Boo this man. Making us change our lists.
All right. First, joining us is my co-host, Edgar.
Hey, hi. Like I said last week, these episodes, like ranking episodes, have become like sort of like a guilty pleasure for me. It's like almost, you know how in Ambulance it's just Jake Gyllenhaal yelling for 2 hours? That's these episodes. So yeah, let's go.
And Evan.
I'm hyped. We've done A24, we've done Star Wars, and we've come to the MCU where Josh has put a gun to my head and said, "Put the TV shows in." So I put the TV shows in. This should be a fun one. Josh doesn't talk like that, but this should be fun. Like on Pixar, I rode hard for Toy Story 2, so I have one that I'm gonna go hard for that I hope is in the top 10. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for this list. Going through this list, I'm not super hyped for a lot of these movies, but my top 10 is my top 10, so I'm ready.
And returning from Hyperspace Hype and My Cup of Tea, Nathan.
I'm in danger. It's gonna be a one. Will it be a fun one? We'll see, but it's a lot of chaos. Definitely doing
certainly an episode.
Certainly.
Of the show.
And returning from Imperial Senate podcast.
That's
Radio. Nikki.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me back. I had a lot of fun doing the Star Wars one, so I'm really excited to see how this shakes out. There's obviously so many more things to go in to this that I think just the pure chaos and unpredictability of it is going to be twice as high as Star Wars. And yeah, I feel really good about my top 10. I don't know how many of them are going to get in. I hope a few will, and I'll be really happy if they do. And I don't hate you, Josh, because I always have had the shows plugged into my list.
Me too.
So there we go.
The show started last year.
And from Auto Radio, again, all Indias.
Just like all these small time shows.
Yeah, I know. He's like from some garbage ass podcast, I guess. It's great to be here. Good to be here. I feel like I'm at like an open mic. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I asked off air if this would be spicier than our Star Wars ranking, and our illustrious host and producer told me that he expects that it will be, because Star Wars was pretty much like a great ride. Like everyone that was on that stream, we were all like, "Oh hell yeah!" Like all 10 slots.
That one was probably the one that like represented all of us the most. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There were surprises, but no disappointments with Star Wars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We shut out Rogue One, which was great.
We shut out the prequels. Was what?
That was shocking.
That
was a shock. But this one, I think, is going to be some of the most accounting for taste like discussions that we have. So
there's some surprises on here. I will say that
the true Civil War is going to be this podcast.
Wait, do we have no prequels in Star Wars?
No,
we thought Revenge of the Sith would get in.
Best we had was Clone Wars.
We have sequels, Clone Wars, original trilogy, 3, 6, 8.
Rebels.
Visions on there. Visions barely made it.
Visions made it.
Okay.
Hey, can I ask Nathan? Nathan, you got popcorn in that thing, or you cleaned it out?
I did not put anything in it because goddamn, I get it on the side if I can help it.
Oh, okay. You were like, I want it for the
He's
aesthetics.
talking about the Thor popcorn bucket behind him.
Yes, yeah.
Nathan
People
to
listening
lick
on
the butter
podcast,
out of it.
Fucking, is he worthy though?
Metal.
Right.
Good.
Let's get this chaos started.
Oh my gosh, where are we
boy.
going?
Okay,
I'm scared, dude.
No, I'm just to say, our number 10 is a surprising one, at least for me.
Ant-Man
Okay.
was.
What do we think?
Son of a
What do we think
Shang-Chi.
to start off with? What do we think?
This is where I start my Shang-Chi hype. This movie better be in the fucking top 10. I put it in the list. There are not 10 movies or TV shows that are better than Shang-Chi, so it better be number 10. So let's see where this goes.
I'm gonna say surprising in the sense that I'm gonna say it's something really that you would expect is really high, but some of us have it low. So I'm gonna
The
go
Dark
with, like,
World, baby.
I'm gonna go with like Infinity War or something.
I'm gonna say,
Oh boy.
as a general prediction, the biggest shock of them all will be if Incredible Hulk makes the list.
No way.
I'm a defender.
Basically.
I'll say like the curveball, like surprisingly low. I'm gonna say Winter Soldier.
Nah, I think it's a Guardians. We might see a Guardians in here. Guardians 1.
Oh wait, you ready for the reveal?
Hit it.
I want to see the
Number
algorithm. when this
10.
is over.
Number 10, Moon Knight.
Oh,
What
the? Settle down, Evan. Evan, we
I'm
liked it,
surprised
but
by
Please.
this too.
Please,
You
everyone,
liked it.
please simmer down.
Stop
I
the
blame-
cap!
I blame
Stop.
myself.
Yeah, this was mostly Nikki.
This is
Yes.
no
Uh,
way.
Alden.
Wait,
I had it high.
What?
This is number 5 for me.
That's number
What?
7 for me. We did it.
Number
We did it,
25
Joe.
for me.
There we go.
This show
very
is-
high,
This show is like phenomenal TV. I really do think.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's like
Outside then.
somewhere between Indiana Jones and David Lynch, and then you have Oscar delivering that.
Mhm.
And
Oscar
and,
Isaac is fucking incredible. in
Great
this series.
cast.
Like,
Mike
One of
his best
Kalamali. I think
performances.
she's like a breakout of any Marvel
Yeah.
thing ever. She's so good. Ethan Hawke, like people can criticize the writing of that villain, but man, his performance is
his performance is
Oh,
great.
yeah.
so good. I love this show. I want to hear from Evan.
Evan, I did a podcast with you. You like these? I know.
I
you do.
like, again, for a lot of the MCU, I like this show. I think it's like a 3.5 to a 4 out of 5. I'm not sure where I put it. I haven't ranked it on Letterboxd. Maybe I have. But for
How
me,
dare you?
Alden says Indiana Jones. I get the vibe. They marketed it as Indiana Jones, but for me, they go to London, they go to Egypt. Like there's not a lot of Indiana Jones international vibes to it. I like the vibe of it. It's a good exploration. There's good horror elements in here. I like the mythology aspects. Oscar Isaac is fantastic. I just think I don't know. I think I have like 10 more things that are just better than Moon Knight. I'm just shocked that it's in the top 10.
Me too.
overall.
Yeah, I'm
I
surprised
just
by that.
I just think it's a good show, but like it's not in my top 10 shows of the year, or it's like it's not even. It's good. It's good.
For me, the first 2 episodes were really like distinct and different. Then for me personally, like it just like kind of got more like formulaic towards the end.
I like the penultimate episode the best. I think the one with going inside and Moon Knight going through his past, where they had a conversation with his mom. That was dark.
That's a great episode.
Fantastic episode.
See, I like the ending because, like, even though it has like your
Energy
slam
battle.
bang fight, it's not an
Yeah.
energy battle.
Energy battle.
Technically, not an energy battle. It was a
Yeah.
kaiju battle.
Kaiju baby.
Yeah, the kaiju battle, and then Moon Knight switching forms mid-fight was awesome.
Dope.
That was
and
really
so, like,
cool,
even though
yeah.
it comes down to like kicking his ass, it's still about like it still ends on like a mercy note. And then the what I love about it is that the season takes the time to tell you what the mental hospital is, and even then it was never really definitive. And then it ends with a flash into the mental hospital again, just as like a little fuck you right at the end
Yeah.
of like, we still haven't played all of our cards.
And like the
then-
very last scene, the needle drop, like it was
yeah,
great.
yeah. I think that this is probably like the ballsiest of their shows for sure.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I would agree with that because in the finale they cut out the final fight in a sense by having Jake Lockley come in and be the
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
that was really
That
cool.
element every time that where it's the blackout and you just
Mhm.
you're in
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
carnage.
The way it's edited is so
That's
cool.
a really creative thing, and yeah,
That's why like the first 2 episodes
Top
has
10?
had a lot of it. Like,
Yeah.
in the first
yeah,
episode.
and it plays so well on a rewatch too because once you get to the, I mean, for those people, everybody reading the comics or like was like super online was waiting for the third personality, but just on a television like construction level, when you are watching episode 5, when you see the third casket or the
Mhm.
coffin inside of the thing,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, there's something else at foot here. I'm not sure what it is. Then you go back to things like, well, who asked out the woman working at the museum?
Right.
Mhm.
If Mark is married, and and obviously it wasn't Steven. Because at first we were like, oh, Mark, but then we meet Mark's wife. So like that had to be a Jake thing.
Maybe I need to
and,
rewatch this.
and then who went to the pet store, like when Mark didn't and Jake. There's a couple things like that where you realize that you haven't been privy to the whole story.
Yeah.
which are really cool.
Yeah.
I also want to shout out that Moon Knight, in my view, I think is one of these one of the ones to really kick open the like representation door.
Mhm.
And a with the I forget what's her name, Layla's
Yeah.
superhero name.
Scarlet
Scarlet
Scarab.
Scarab.
Like that's a great
Uh,
cultural moment. And then also Mohammed Diab, one of the directors, who tore Wonder Woman 84 a new one for its Middle Eastern portrayal.
The filters and all that, yeah.
He said something before Moon Knight came out about how, like, I'm going to shoot Cairo in a way never seen Cairo put on screen before. And they go to Cairo in, I think, the third episode. And he was right. Like, it was this bustling, modern, but also like 1 foot in our world, the modern world, 1 foot in this ancient world.
Right.
And it's this beautiful city full of light and not just this desert.
It doesn't need color filter like Mexico and Breaking Bad.
Mexico.
Right. And so
Yeah.
I think that was one of those really like good first times that I noticed when they didn't just put people of, you know, the culture, the race in front of the camera. They had them behind it too. And they were making good creative decisions to show a world that is not shown properly, you know, in the past. So I definitely
remember,
want to shout out Moon Knight for that.
So well said. I remember when the first two came out, because we go to Egypt in the third one. I remember when the first two came out, the second one ends with he's in that apartment and he looks out the balcony and you can see the Great Pyramid. And I remember people tweeting like, hey, like Marvel fans that live in Egypt, like, is that true? Like, can you actually see the pyramids like from a city? And people are like, yeah, if you're partying in the right place, you could see it like while you're clubbing.
My friend,
Like,
my
you
friend,
can actually see the pyramid right there.
my friend lives in Cairo, and he saw Maroon 5 there. And the
That's
backdrop of the stage were the pyramids of Giza.
That's so cool.
The funniest thing I've ever heard. That's so good.
Yeah, Moon Knight just felt good. It's one of those things. This is why this list is going to be even wilder than Star Wars, because there's 30 something things that felt good at the right time. And that's definitely how I feel about
like
Moon
we
Knight.
could probably take the 10 that show up today, eliminate them, and then do this again with the remaining 26 and have an equally interesting like runner-up
I would
runner-up
like
conversation.
Don't get ideas, Josh.
But also, can I just say, out of every single, like, again, they've been at this since 2008, and they have had some. We talked about this in our group chat the other day. They have had some phenomenal translations of costumes. I mean, we can never understate that first Iron Man armor, those first few Iron Man armors. Things like Cap in Endgame finally having the scale mail. Like they've done some incredible.
Sam Wilson's costume is like
Sam Wilson's, yeah.
Oh, it's like everything's just like on
all of the
on
Thor
nose,
ones.
perfect.
Yeah.
Even though they're right, heavy on CGI, like the actual design of the Moon
The
Knight
design,
and
like Mr. Knight and Moon Knight
Mr.
are
Knight,
both phenomenal, and Khonshu, like they all look
And
incredible.
Scarlet
Scarab, yeah,
yeah.
and Tawerit and Amit,
Like
like
Guardians
everything.
now are like exact.
Super accurate.
Just
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, well, the Guardians, I don't know how many people look at like set photos and stuff, but the Guardians Volume 3 costumes are straight up Annihilation Wave. Like Star-Lord's got the blue uniform with the red stripes and the
I don't
They've had
fire
Endgame.
emblem right
As soon as
here.
I saw Rocket wearing that in Endgame, I was like,
Oh yeah,
we've done
Rocket's
it.
costume in Endgame is perfect.
Yeah.
So what's number 9 here? Shang-Chi. I keep saying it. Where's Shang-Chi?
Evan, like the more you don't see it, the more likely it's higher.
Just
Exactly, right?
already, Josh.
I mean, I just want to be in the top
See
10.
what we got.
Number 9,
It's gonna be Guardians or
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
Iron Man.
Wow,
Ooh.
it's low. I don't
Surprised
know.
they
That's
didn't.
weird.
Interesting.
9?
Iron Man doesn't
isn't
even kiss my top
It's not
10.
even not even close to mine.
It's on the
Iron
bottom
Man's
of my
so low.
list.
This
Wow.
to
You
me is
dragged
one
it
of the
down.
most like this is a quintessential definition of important, but not necessary, but has been eclipsed 100 times over.
That third act, I know everyone says it, but it really is not the greatest.
Because Obadiah Stane has no motivation, and that's not an exaggeration. He doesn't have one, and some people argue, and they're like, "Oh, Alden, he got the 10 rings because he wanted to control the company," but that's not because Tony had gotten rid of the weapons division. Bullshit, because he was out to kill Tony while Tony was still a weapons profiteer. So I still don't know what this guy's about.
It's just greed, isn't it?
Tony's
Motivation,
all of
regardless.
Tony's
Performance was good,
decision
though. Jeff
making,
Bridges was good.
all of
Yeah,
his
Jeff
decision making
Bridges
that
is
happens,
fantastic.
all the character clashing, is after Tony changes. But that's not where the conflict starts. It starts before the movie. So it just that stuff has really not aged.
Tony
Iron Man
Stark
2 is
built
above
his
this.
suit of armor in a cave with a box of scrap.
Oh, scraps.
That's
for that
iconic,
reason-
bro.
Yeah, this movie is
that is
iconic, but like for me, not necessarily the best.
I disagree. I think it's one of my favorite origin stories for me. I think Tony's arc is fantastic. I love the armor. I love the just the vibe that Jon Favreau goes for in this movie. Really setting the template for like the MCU in general. I think the jokes are hit every time. What's her name? Gwyneth Paltrow is fantastic in this one.
This is the best she's ever been.
Exactly. I love
Gwyneth
her
is
in
a
this
great
one.
example of like she put it all into that. She put her whole pepper pussy into
Oh,
that
no.
first one.
She put her whole scented candle in it.
I think
Oh,
Paltrow-
God.
Paltrow.
Altrissy.
Oh,
I will say though, like it's a fucking moot point at this point. Like 2022, we don't need to discuss how perfect Downey's casting is, but it can never not.
See, the
Be, it can't be
thing
said
for me
enough.
is that like growing up, I was always an Iron Man guy. Like, I love the character, but like as I've gotten older, he's just gotten a bit more annoying for me. Like his mannerisms and like, because maybe because I've watched too much of the character.
You have matured with him.
I know, right?
It's like, I'm
what
not
is
the biggest.
this
I
Iron
always
Man
find
guy,
myself-
Tony Stark guy.
I always find myself liking Iron Man more as the movie as he progressed through
I
the
totally
MCU.
agree, Nikki. I totally agree. Like
I think
love
like
him in
my
Civil War.
first like I love Iron Man was Infinity War.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, it is an interesting one. I didn't even see this one in theaters. That's
What?
I was late to the
How many people saw
I've
this in
seen-
theaters? How many
I've seen
people saw this
all of them
theaters?
in theaters except I think First Avenger and Hulk. Maybe.
I saw them
I-
all in theaters.
I was
Me too. Me
9.
too.
So-
Unfortunately, my first MCU movie was Iron Man 2.
I think that was mine too.
Unfortunately,
mine in
I think that
theaters
was
was
mine.
the first.
Iron Man 2 is
Underrated.
fun.
Underrated.
It's
Iron Man
not-
2 is a blast.
it's not
Unfairly maligned. Iron Man
not
2
good.
got fucking pinned to the cross for
good.
doing
To the
things.
cross.
Justin
doing
Hammer, one of the
things.
best MCU villains.
Justin
Iron Man 2 's
Hammer's
fun, dude.
monologue.
Yes.
Justin
Why did-
Hammer's
But what did
Weapons
everybody criticize
monologue.
2 for? What did they criticize 2 for? It's just Avengers setup. If 2 came out now, no one bats an eye.
Oh
No
yeah,
one.
totally.
Yeah.
But I think the plot is still.
I want my
iffy.
bird.
This one,
I want my bird is all-time motivation. That's the motivation
Come on!
Stain was missing.
That's like-
Obadiah.
What are you showing me?
But yeah, wait, come on. The Nikki's right though. The weapons monologue scene is phenomenal, and I will say when we rewatched it for One and Done Film Club, me, Nikki, and Reed, I was like surprisingly, maybe it's because I'm getting sentimental as I get older, but the stuff where he can only crack the element by rewatching Howard's like old home movies and like
Yeah.
figuring all that out, and when Howard leaves the message for him, like my greatest invention will always be you.
That was
Maybe it's because we've seen Endgame that
Yeah.
that arc is finished now. 2 definitely has been elevated for sure.
I think 1 is worth having in the list simply.
Yeah,
because
yeah. It's like
I think of
Sure,
how
yeah.
how they
It's a good
described it.
movie.
No, how they described it
It is
as a
good.
like $200 million like student
indie
film.
film. Yeah.
Student film. Like
Mm.
Student film,
it was
yeah.
a fucking mess making
It
this.
doesn't even have
Yeah.
a shooting
No, like-
script.
No script. Jeff
Really?
Bridges was like,
yeah.
okay, like let's just
They
go.
would literally give Jeff Bridges and Downey like the gist of scenes, and they would just go.
Yeah.
So it's a marvel, huh, that it is even
Boo.
as big, as celebrated as it still is, because
And even
Sketch
like
off,
oh,
like, one of the
pre-
great ones.
pre-production, like casting and hiring, the fact that they didn't want to insure Downey, like could you imagine the alternate reality where that gets shot down?
Man.
Like that's the greatest gamble
Mm.
fucking
Yeah.
ever. I would say there's not a better comic book casting choice to ever happen. And there are 2 categories. There's comic book accurate and there's redefine the character. Downey's definitely redefined the character. You know, comic book accurate would probably be like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool or Christopher Reeve Superman.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, this changes the game. We're not here
Well,
without this movie. So
Back when
While
I was
we're- we're here talking about Robert Downey Jr. I'll share a fun Robert Downey Jr.
Oh,
story
sure.
that I have.
oh,
Are you friends?
Yes.
You're holding out.
No, actually, so I around like the time this movie came out, I was confusing Robert Downey Jr. with Freddie Prinze Jr. and
I'd watch that.
and I was like, oh man, that dude from Summer Catch got into like drugs and shit. That's sad. And I was like,
Not Fred.
You do.
it's like, oh man, he's making a comeback though. That's awesome. And then I'm like, oh wait, you're not Freddie Prinze Jr. You're the dude from U.S. Marshals. So yeah, I think it always cracks me up that I thought Freddie Prinze Jr. and Robert Downey Jr. were the same, and they are very different.
Fred from Scooby Doo is Iron Man. Holy shit!
I actually have a fun story about Iron Man though.
Ooh.
Back when John Favreau was showing the movie at Skywalker Ranch, that's where he met Dave Filoni.
Oh shit!
Oh,
He's never told us story.
That's where the
before.
relationship
That's
spawned
incredible.
into Mandalorian.
Didn't he do Lion King?
Yeah, I think
And
I did.
Jungle Book?
Nathan.
So the thing about Game Engine is that you can take Game Engine and
Oh man,
I swear,
back
love that man.
back when I was 9 years old, which is around the time this came out. There was also they had a cartoon Iron Man Armored Adventures.
Yes.
Oh, the cell shaded CG
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Great show.
I heard it's good, but back then I didn't hear about it, and I was kind of turned off by the art style. So I was just my idea of Iron Man was tainted before even going into this, and my dad was just like, "Come on, just check this out. Like, I think you'll like it." And so I popped in that beautiful crisp 480p DVD. And I popped it in and I watched it, and my mind was blown so much that I immediately restarted it and watched it again. It is so damn good, and big impacts, big impression. My first MCU film in theaters was Iron Man 2. I eventually got to see this on the 10-year re-release in IMAX, which was awesome. You can actually watch the IMAX open mat version on Disney Plus now.
Good for you.
Thank you. But yeah, it's really good. And like when you just like go through it and like you get older and like understand like the whole construct of story design stuff and arcs and elements and character work, like diving into this, like the character work and like the redemption arc as it were of Tony is just it's so good.
The prologue always hits. It's one of the best first acts for me of any of the MCU movies.
It is a great first act, and also and again, because there's no script, it's like how much of this is Favreau, how much of it's Downey, but one of the most quotable films, and probably since
The mic drop of the Indian,
like it's just like stuff where the soldiers like, is it true that you went 12 for 12 with last year's Playboy cover models? And he's like,
yes,
actually, that's a misconception. December was twins. Like, shit like that is like
scheduling conflict.
Yeah, scheduling conflict. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
The Stanley cameo, Hugh Hefner, great.
Oh yeah.
Number 8, Shang-Chi.
What do we think?
Shang-Chi. I'm just gonna keep on saying it.
I'm gonna say Shang-Chi too, just to support Evan.
Thank you, Alden. You're the best.
I'm gonna say Iron Man 3 just to get the.
There's no more Iron Man.
over.
There's no more Iron
God,
Man.
if Iron Man 3 outranks Iron Man, I will ascend.
There's no more Iron Mans on this list.
That's
There's
why.
no more Iron Mans on this list. We're done with Iron Man.
I will become Prime Alden.
One of the great Christmas movies.
I want
Iron
to
Man
hear
3.
that thread.
Iron Man 3 has the
It's
best
a Guardians
Iron Man
movie.
theme of
It's a
any of the
Guardians
movies.
or Cap. Guardians or Cap. Or Shang-Chi, of course. Guardians, Cap, or Shang-Chi. That's it.
I'm
There
stressed.
can't be two
Number
Guardians.
8.
I can see like 2 Cap films.
There can't be two Guardians in here.
Winter Soldier.
There it is.
Oh.
Wait.
Interesting.
Expected.
Interesting.
Expected.
Lower
I don't
than
know if
I
it's in mine.
Expected, yeah.
I love Winter Soldier to death.
This is the one that I feel
Great
is the
movie.
single most overrated thing they've ever made.
Oh my god. Alden.
Oh my
You're
god!
so
First
wrong.
it's Iron Man, now it's Winter Soldier. Oh,
So-
explain yourself.
So this is funny.
Oh no, Nathan.
Winter Soldier and The Dark Knight are both in like my wheelhouse mentality of like, is it really as great as everyone keeps saying it is? Like year after year, and then every time I go back and watch, I'm like,
It is.
I have no issue, and
Yeah.
okay.
I have that with Dark Knight for sure. I've had that same conversation with myself about Dark Knight, and then I watch it and I'm like, it's brilliant
It's
again.
brilliant.
Like,
That was me with Empire Strikes Back
Do
for
it.
a while.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
I was always so tired of it being number one. I'm like, everyone just shut up. Stop saying Empire Strikes Back. And then you watch it, you're like, God damn it. You're so good.
And again,
Wow.
this is one where like there's nothing wrong with it. I just think that if I break it down to its elements, especially now, especially 2022, we've had a better Black Widow story. I think that Steve stuff here is probably the best Steve stuff, but we've had better Bucky.
Yes.
I think that Fury's kind of a plot device in this film.
See, but
He,
the
Fury works better in video game
espionage
than
of it all, and just
Yeah.
the Hydra reveals hits. So
I think
hard.
I think Black Widow is the better MCU spy film than
Really?
Wow.
out of these two.
Spy film.
Like
That's
if
fine, it's a
for
good
the
spy
spy political thrillers that they've made, all two of them. Well, I guess Falcon and Winter Soldier too.
No,
Uh,
I still go with this one over Black Widow as a spy movie because I think the ending of Black Widow doesn't really hit as much as the ending of this one emotionally.
Yeah, although I like the ending of Widow more, but I do love what this one was doing because there's a trend now. Like I just rewatched Star Trek Into Darkness the other day. Into Darkness,
I like it. Underrated.
it is underrated. Into Darkness beat this one to theaters by a year
Mm-hmm.
and kind of did the preventative justice theme. And then this one came along and like really kicked that into the stratosphere. And now everyone kind of wants to do a story like that. And I think it was smart to do. It's really good. I think Robert Redford is fucking
Steve
awesome.
Rogers is one of my
Yeah.
favorite characters in MCU, and like the stuff we did with him, like the character work and
Yeah.
Bucky coming back, how that like affects his character. Then
I
with
will-
the
Yeah.
Peggy stuff, like meaning
The Peggy
her
stuff's
again.
great. This also
Peggy
starts
Stark.
the
I
Sharon
cry every time.
storyline.
His
which is, like-
dynamic with Scarlett Johansson in this movie, especially, is really good.
Yeah,
Shout out to
I
Toby
also
Jones.
think that the Toby Jones, I was about to say Toby Jones in this. It was
Yeah.
one of those rare, phenomenal instances of synergy back before TV and film fell apart. Now, obviously, they're united again, but this was when everyone was like, "Oh, you have to watch Agents of Shield because it's going to
Before
tie in."
Perlmutter like fucked shit up.
Yeah, before Perlmutter fuck shit up. Because if you watch Agents of Shield season 1,
Mm-hmm.
the episode Turn, which I think is the episode 17. Because I would always tell people, I know it's a lot to ask. Give it 16 episodes.
Stuff
And
with
then
the-
everything gets real. Yeah.
When you get to episode 17, it's the direct Winter Soldier tie-in
it's beautiful.
down to like you know where it's like Siege of Mandalore, like you know where you
Yeah.
are in the movie,
Mm.
and it's fantastic.
16 on for Agents of Shield is just like when it hits the fire, it just goes straight fire. I love that.
A lot has changed in the years since then.
Also,
now,
like,
now,
Robert
people
Redford
can't
is
even
a-
sit through 4 episodes without bitching.
Yeah, Robert Redford's a really solid villain.
Okay.
in this.
Oh
What's
yeah,
that?
he's great.
Oh,
One of the
Yeah.
greatest actors to grace the MCU.
oh, definitely.
This was when it started to become like, oh, they can get anyone
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do these movies. Because like Anthony Hopkins' Thor, I think was the first one where I was like, okay, damn. And then now it's like it does nothing.
Now, like,
shocks me
it's
really with their
naming who
casting.
isn't in these movies. at this
Yeah.
point.
What the
Exactly.
hell are
Yeah.
you doing? Get in these movies.
Like it's getting to the point now where even the people that didn't get cast is starting to be an impressive list. Like
Yeah.
for Ego and Guardians 2, they talked to McConaughey, they talked to Pacino, they talked to all kinds of people. Like they can do whatever they want now.
Al Pacino.
I say this movie is worth it alone for the Hail Hydra elevator scene in Endgame.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful. payoff.
Oh, this is another movie that because of that it makes Iron Man 2 better. Because you know that Stearns is
Yeah.
on the take. That Stearns is Hydra.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
like, the action is really well choreographed. I think it's like some of the best action we've seen. to
Action's
this day
very
in
well
MCU.
directed. I'll go back to the characters. I think this is the best we've seen Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury.
Yeah.
He's actually
Yeah.
a character in this movie. I think he's the same way in the first Avengers.
He's not just like the good
Um,
boss, like puppet master. He actually has like characterization.
Yeah, he gets a scene
Yeah,
to
he has
himself.
to
That's
do.
why I'm like, he actually gets a scene
Yeah.
to himself. Where he's just like the whole.
Oh, the car
yeah.
escape.
great
That was actually
scene.
really
yeah.
cool. Where he has like
Um,
the kind of lightsaber.
Yeah.
for, like, 2
Yeah.
seconds.
That was so- like, how did he dig into the ground? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, the
The air conditioning joke's
oh,
great.
what is it called?
You want to see
I
my
love
lease?
Yeah, this movie is also. Oh, what was I gonna say? You said something about characters. Something. Oh, I forgot. It's fine.
But
Um,
The
I'm
Russo
glad-
brothers' first movie, and like it was a surprise them coming.
That's
from
what I was gonna say.
Community.
Russo brothers debut.
The community
Yeah.
guys.
It's like
Mr. Brown.
everybody. This was again in terms of
This
setting
was the
groundwork.
start of like comedic directors coming into MCU and doing like
And the
actual
start of
serious stuff.
Fahey. I mean, I guess Favreau too, but Favreau had family hits, with Elf and like
Yeah.
Zathura and things like that. But this was really when they
Right.
started to
Cowboys
be
versus
like,
aliens.
let's take
No,
these.
that was after.
That was after.
Yeah.
It's like let's take
2011.
anyone we want and turn them into, superstar
Yeah.
directors.
Yeah.
Something I've thought a lot about while looking at this one and the last one, I feel like this list is going to, at least in my mind, be different to Star Wars in that a lot of these are going to be through the lens of like what they meant for when they came out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because like I wouldn't put this in my top 10, and Iron Man's not in my top 10, but like
Wow.
I feel like when they both came out, they were both or this one was felt a little bit like a level up, and I think like a lot of things have passed it for me, but
See, I still
like Winter
think
Soldier.
that, like, I did an MCU rewatch like a year ago, and this still like is really memorable. And
It's
For me,
good.
it
It's
was
good,
good
but it's
level.
like it's one of those things where like at the time when it came out, this was like the next step, and I feel like we've taken a lot of
Yeah.
steps after.
Especially
It's not-
since
Phase
this
2
and
really
Guardians
began,
were
like,
the
became
same
Phase
year.
2.
Yeah.
This
Like,
and Guardians
2014
being in the same year was proof positive that we can do genre and that it's the genres are changing and that we will completely flip. We'll 180 in the same year.
This is where we got the SNL skit where they're like, MCU can do anything. Remember that? Or it's just like
the rom-com.
They've done Guardian. They did this, like they had a talking raccoon and made like $800 million. So like the MCU.
You know what my biggest gripe is with this movie? Everybody worships the stealth suit. What is wrong?
I
with
love
you
it.
people?
I adore
It's
it.
good. What do you mean?
You can't take the red out. You can't take the red out.
It's a spy suit.
I think the shield looks
Crazy.
pretty cool. I mean, not for like.
I love it because it
not
gave us
permanently.
the Captain Carter stealth suit, and that's one of my favorites.
That's
Captain
but
Carter.
you put it's Haley Steinfeld. Not Haley Steinfeld. Haley Atwell.
Haley
Both.
Hold
I'll take
on.
both.
All right.
Both, please.
and a large fries.
Yeah, a large fry and a shake.
What are we
Yeah,
doing?
I think it's
Fast forward.
This one
very overrated too.
This one has a special place for me because it was the first MC film I saw, like first showing opening night, and that was once I experienced a crowd like that, I was like, I'm never going back.
I had a weird double feature with this. I had this and Godzilla.
Let's go.
That's not that weird.
Wait,
I like
didn't
it.
I
this
don't
come
love
out
that
like
movie.
months after or months before Godzilla?
It was during the same month, I think. They came out in May, no?
Was this
April, this is April
2014 or
2014.
Godzilla's
April,
okay,
in
okay.
May.
This is April 2014.
What was
Okay,
it?
then yeah, a month apart. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I remember seeing this in April with my friend who.
Yeah, I don't think I saw this like opening weekend. Right?
Because my friend, he used like both of the seat things in the theater, and I hated that. So I always remember that. Like you know, like,
to that guy.
when you put your arms,
The armrest?
the armrest, yeah.
They're
Thank
no
you.
longer friends.
He used
They
both the
don't speak.
armrests in the theater. Who does that? Anyways,
He was
It's called
just like,
etiquette.
right, yeah. Anyways,
No, like this.
One more thing is this also has one of my favorite like fight sequences. Yeah, it's the highway scene.
with the knife.
Oh,
Where, like we get the reveal with Bucky.
Hydra's not gonna
The
attack
whole
you with
fight
a pocket
sequence
knife.
is so good.
Fucking...
The knife flip is fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
All right.
So, are we
Ready
gonna
to
have
move on?
both Guardians in here? You bunch of candy ass.
I hope
Are
so.
we?
Evan, get over yourself.
You know like Guardians 7?
I don't like. I mean,
Watch your tone.
I'm in the minority for one of them. You guys probably know, but we'll get
I'm in the minority for one of them too. I think.
Oh, I think we're
Probably
the
not
other
the one
way-
you think.
I
Maybe
think
a
we're the other
different
way around.
minority.
I think we're the other way around. We'll get to it when it comes.
This
up
is
here
a rare
Alright.
instance of I wish Preston was here.
Yeah, I know. Preston
His
left,
list is wait, no, is it? No, it's not. Never
He
mind.
probably butchered. He's probably the one I blame for Shang-Chi since he's not here.
Mm.
Shang-Chi
I
number
did-
7. Let's go.
Okay. Let's do it.
It's probably Guardians 1.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It's probably Guardians 1. There's no Ant-Man.
Number
Ant-Man.
7.
And one else.
It's probably
Wait,
Guardians 1.
Just to put it out there, we only have one tie this time, and it's a really interesting tie. So
Is this the tie?
Shang-Chi! Negative tie! Shang-Chi, come in.
And we had no
baby.
ties for Star Wars.
I think we had one.
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did it
Two.
actually for Star Wars.
Did we?
No.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
this is new for me anyway.
Shang-Chi number 7. Let's go!
Number 7, we have
Let's go!
Multiverse.
Wow!
Yeah,
We did
baby!
We did it again, Joe.
We did it,
again.
Joe. We did it again.
Re-election, baby.
Oh god! if you give me the
Evan's
floor-
left.
Evan, come back.
Oh,
See,
Evan
this
said
is
I
like
give-
my number
me
6
out!
or 7.
This
Fire.
is
Um,
stupid!
Fire.
You
So-
guys
Fire,
are,
baby.
you guys
Fire.
are You guys, this is ridiculous. Are you
We have
kidding me?
style.
Style.
We have
It's
style,
a
Evan.
style, baby.
Multiverse of
This is it.
Madness?
This is
A 3 out of 5 movie at best. Get me out of
no.
here.
Get out
Get
of
me
dude.
out of here.
fresh.
Abandon the scores, man. Abandon them.
Wow.
If
I'd
I
be
may,
so much happier.
I
This
st- I'd
movie
stop
is
reading.
This movie
Just like
Wow.
like Nikki said, it's like it's like not all style, but it's so much style. It's so many
It's so
like
refreshing.
I'm gonna do it because I want
How
to.
is it?
It's got J
Evan-
horror, hammer horror,
go.
slasher, zombie. It's got literally this man possesses his own corpse, summons a bunch of ghouls to be his
90s
cape,
fade in, fade
Wow.
out.
electric guitar, like
Yeah, literally, an electric guitar shoots off when
Let's
this
go.
guy
A cup of
is
tea,
summoning
that
the
music,
dead to
that
make him
music.
fly, to then
make a
motivate a teenager wearing a denim jean jacket to smack Scarlet Witch in the face.
Hell
That's
yeah.
just
To-
fucking awesome.
and then that teenager punches a star in reality, where this woman can like terrify her alternate universe kids. Like, come on.
The
This-
music note battle is, I think, my favorite thing
It's
in the
amazing.
entire MCU.
Yeah, it's really
It's
good.
like straight out of Fantasia.
I leave
the
and
best
Evan
way.
is dying in the corner.
I got nothing to say.
Also, Wanda's arc, I'm past caring anymore. If you're this ruined WandaVision person, I'm sorry, I have nothing for you. I
Sorry,
got
Evan.
nothing for you. Got
Sorry.
nothing.
It's not good.
I can't litigate it anymore.
Evan,
I
Evan,
mean, this movie is, for me, it's just like it's fine. The first Doctor Strange is infinitely better than this one.
No.
This one,
definitely.
this one,
Yeah.
this one. It's like I see the theme of the movie. I see the theme of the movie. I just don't connect with it. I don't connect with Wanda's arc at all. The self-sacrifice at the end is stupid. It's stupid.
It's not a sacrifice.
It's
She doesn't
stupid.
die.
She still doesn't die. We never see her again after
The red
that.
poof.
Stupid.
The poof
So?
of magic.
It's
Are you
stupid.
new
She
here?
removes
Stupid.
all the dark
That's
holds
MCU also.
It's stupid.
She's on
and
How many
her
of these
own.
have you
chooses
watched?
to.
This is your first
Wanda's
one?
arc I don't vibe with. Stranger's arc is cool. Rachel
I
McAdams
love
wasted
Stranger's arc.
again. I'm just
She gets so
Yeah,
much more to
she's kinda
do.
wasted, yeah.
She gets a lot more to do. It's a
More,
stark
yeah, but still
improvement.
not enough.
Stark improvement on the first.
she gets
uh,
more to do. True. It's still
Wong
Rachel
is
McAdams,
great.
They don't know how to use her.
I think America is a great debut.
Yeah,
I
she's
think that
great.
She's
they
good. I didn't really. Her character arc was fine for me.
this
Um,
doesn't fall into the trap that it could have fallen into of we're gonna do some
If-
crazy cameos.
As
and we
someone,
want
as you all
to take it
know,
away.
he's not the biggest Sam Raimi guy. This movie would not be as good without Raimi. Like, that's
Oh,
Obviously.
let me make something abundantly clear. This is far and away the best comic book movie he's ever made. Neither of those first three Spider-Mans even touch this
I
movie.
agree.
With a 10-foot pole,
agree.
do they touch
I
this
agree.
movie?
ridiculous.
This beats the living hell out of
This is,
out of
this
one
is our
and
Civil
three,
War. Here we go.
and then two can hang for a minute, but it still gets knocked
I mean,
out.
There's nothing emotionally that I care about this movie more than anything in Spider-Man 2 at all.
The last scene with
What's the last
Wanda
scene
and
in this
her and
movie?
Wanda.
The kids are horrified of her.
Wanda and
because
Wanda.
her motivation for being the villain of this piece is motherhood, and she's only able to lay down her arms via motherhood. Like, and they dropped this bitch on Mother's Day weekend. Like,
And then
they-
the consequences to sacrifice herself, and then we never see her again after that. Not a fan. I just.
But we
This
don't know that,
film-
Evan.
Hold on.
It's MCU,
It's
Yeah,
the-
it's the
again,
universe.
are you new? Are you new to
5
this?
years. It doesn't
It must be-
matter.
It must be stated again. Are you new to this?
what about Loki in the first floor? He falls off of
Exactly. Then we
fucking
see
the
him, like, years
Bifrost.
later.
and falls into the universe and shit.
And
It's in a
is
year
Thor
later.
in this list too? No, it's not. Because I like Loki as an actor. And
If Thor 1 made this list, I would also ascend
Look,
because
you guys
that's
are
the best
crazy.
Phase 1 movie.
Let me just say,
Wow.
my favorite MCU Marvel superhero is Doctor Strange. Both Doctor Strange movies are in my top 10.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great inclusion. A, because I love it, and it's got style, it's got fire, it's got madness, and I think it's one of those things where it's like this Marvel list could have turned out really boring. I think like there's a reality where we just listed the blah blah
And
blah.
it's barely started, Nikki.
Hey, there we go. And
Oh, yeah.
and I think this is like our first instance of real chaos, and I love it. So
Look,
Shout
man.
out Multiverse of Madness. You are a trip, and you are so
Look,
much fun to
All
watch.
right,
Yeah.
all right. Hold on before Evan goes off again.
No, I think I'm done. You go ahead, Nathan. Just explain why you love this movie.
I love it, especially from the horror aspect. Like I made 2 letterbox
It's
reviews.
an
One initially
actual
about
horror
the
movie.
movie. I made one letterbox review about the movie itself, and then a whole nother one just analyzing all the horror elements that it gets
Yeah.
through. I especially love how when the dream walking aspect is basically demonic possession, and it's so cool. The
That
soundtrack is
lineup-
metal as fuck. Like ever since I saw Danny Elfman just shredding at Coachella, it's all
Oh,
I
that
can
set, that
imagine.
Coachella set was amazing.
It's so cool to just see like a soundtrack like this implemented. And the dreamwalking verse especially is just it's so good. The motherfucker bends the will of these evil deadite motherfuckers into his cloak of levitation to fly to
God
puppeteer
bless his
this
man.
We won.
fucking zombie from Hocus Pocus looking shit
We won.
to win
The
this
best.
fight. It's so fucking metal. It's so cool. I yield my time. Fuck you.
Yes.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
On
Yeah,
to
that's
6.
good.
We're
On to
done.
six.
We're done
was a
there.
great.
Well, wait,
great
one more
end.
thing. Is that sequence where like where Wanda infiltrates Kamatage?
Amazing.
Like the puddles.
Or she comes out of the water when she contorts herself and it goes
Through the
full
gauntlet.
They
gay
went
horror
full
for
body
10
horror in
seconds.
MCU movie. Like, come on.
It's so fun. It's such a
it's
fun
so good.
movie.
And that's like not even accounting for like the small flourishes. Like this whole time we haven't even talked about how fucking great Patrick Stewart is for his 2 minutes as Xavier. Like doing the music in the score when he rolls on screen and shit. And
Then
Krasinski
Sam Raimi just
Reed, I
saying,
thought was
"Fuck your
totally
cameos."
fine. Yeah, butchering all of
use-
them. I love the
Sam Raimi's sex car.
sex
Yes.
cars in the movie. I love the whole mythology too of 838 and how that really was the best Doctor Strange, and he like definitively did save everyone, but he still needed to be put down, and how that affects everything. I thought it was really cool.
This movie
And I
just
can I
came at
say
the-
like having just seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, anyone and everyone all at once that compares these two movies is an idiot. They're
yeah,
so
they're very different.
so different. It's like not even in the same ballpark of movie.
Truly.
Oh, because the multiverse thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard that all the time. Like,
Oh, Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, not good at everything everywhere all at once. It's like,
what are you
They're
talking
different
about?
movies.
Yeah, totally
The-
different.
The only thing
ideals.
that I would compare them is that like the dream walking and how in Everything Everywhere they have like a similar concept, but it's totally different.
Yeah, similar concept
Yeah.
for sure. I will say that this is also like a great. I haven't done the double feature yet, but No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness as a double feature.
Mm.
Really, like the finale of Loki, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness is like when people say the Phase 4 isn't connecting yet, they're not paying attention because it
Yeah.
blatantly is.
Also, like this came as someone who I love the MCU, but I am starting to get tiny bit like burnt out on this the mass amount of projects we have. Like this came at a perfect time because it just felt so refreshing and so different
Yeah.
than
There,
anything that came out recently.
there's so many dumb lines.
Don't
in this
came
movie.
out last year.
There's so many dumb lines in this movie, but probably my favorite dumb line is the this time it's gonna take more than killing me to kill me.
Yeah,
That's a great line.
Amazing.
Kick that witch's ass.
Then the cup of tea sequence where like Mordo poisons them, then it goes to that shot of Wanda, the 360 shot. Oh, amazing.
Oh, and the brief moments of Wanda breaking the fourth wall. Where she's looking at all the universes and then she looks right into the camera. Like, come on.
That WandaVision, baby.
This shit's so cool. And like Raimi doing Evil Dead face cam, like
Yeah.
on Rachel McAdams and shit.
Oh my god.
Rachel McAdams with the cauldron being like, go back to hell. Like,
Amazing.
Bro, the setting where like her whole land is decayed and the fucking like setting sun is just overly gigantic. It's just
Yeah.
gothic. It's great.
people
This
like,
movie
come on, Evan.
Can I just read my letterbox?
Yeah, I would
review?
never watch this movie.
Read it, Nick.
Yeah, read your review.
You may not like him, Minister, but you cannot deny Sam Raimi's got style.
That's great.
The whole movie is a Phoenix clap exit. That's the whole thing.
All right.
Oh,
What do we think is
this
number
list
six?
this list is redeemed after two safe picks.
Safe.
Is redeemed.
Let's
Say-
go.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Okay.
What do we think?
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, Shang-Chi.
Let's go with Endgame.
I'm gonna keep saying
This movie
This-
is so
this
refreshing.
will
Like,
make you,
Shang-Chi
really.
didn't come out in 2020.
I'm a curveball saying no way.
2021.
Oh, No Way Home's a good one.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be Guardians Volume 2, probably.
God, please.
Number 6. Civil War.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm
not
happy
top
with
5? Not top 5?
It's so
This is
close.
this
It's
is one of their
close,
best
Evan.
films
Close
by
enough.
far. It's
I-
way better
I
than Winter
adore
Soldier.
This movie.
I think so.
See, I used to think it was better than I rewatched Winter Soldier, and that just hit.
Civil War is better than
This
Winter
movie,
Soldier.
Civil War, is the best Avengers movie. Like, if you, it's the best Avengers movie. It's the second best Iron Man movie. It's the best Cap movie.
Second best Iron Man.
They-
Wait, Iron Man 3 above this, motherfucker?
Hell yeah.
They successfully introduced both Peter Parker and T'Challa seamlessly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Civil War.
Yeah, when it
slaps.
cuts to like the Queen's title card, oh, amazing.
So good.
Everybody yells in his Peter.
Yeah, I love Tony's arc in this one. I think it's very emotional. This movie just grips me from beginning to end. I'll never forget seeing this for the first time. The action's visceral. I love Cap and Tony's dynamic in this one. It just feels so touching to me, especially the ending. It's just like it's one of my favorite third acts in all of the MCU, just in
Yeah.
I
general.
actually really like Zemo in this too.
Zemo's
I think he's a
great.
good
Yeah.
villain.
Mhm.
Some people like him a little too much.
What's the actor's name?
Daniel Bruhl.
Daniel Bruhl is phenomenal in this one. I love the scene with T'Challa when he revisits a phone call from his dead wife, and then T'Challa comes over there. Great scene. But yeah, the
Henry
whole third act,
Jackman's score in this like, is really
so good, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
It didn't quite make it into my personal top 10, but
See, I think
It is-
like
I do
watching
like it a
it
lot.
when it first came out, the airport scene was like, oh, this is so cool seeing all these like heroes is interact and stuff.
It's the most
not the
tame
best
It
thing
hasn't
now.
aged the best for me though,
Yeah.
compared to like Thor.
I think I
It's
still love that scene.
I like it a lot.
just very gray.
I love it too.
Oh my!
but, like,
It's an
the-
airport.
it's the Russos.
It's an
I know.
airport. Wait, would it be red and white and blue? What do you
Motherfuckers
mean?
are gonna have a spasm if they ever watch a black and white movie. I swear to
I
God.
know.
Fair point. Fair point.
The color grading.
Yeah,
Overall,
all the
though,
dynamics.
Like, I don't know.
They're so
It
good.
could have been. I don't know.
That
For
is
me,
nice.
it's like
I see what you mean,
the
Dr.
airport. The
Yeah.
airport scene is gravy. Like, they sold the movie and made all the trailers about the airport, as they should have, because it's
Oh,
good marketing. But
It's,
so-
that's not like the best part of the movie. For
the
me.
meat
It's
of the
like
movie
third
comes
act.
down to those three guys:
The
Yeah.
third act
Uh,
is incredible.
and Zemo.
in this movie.
Zemo
So
and
good.
and T'Challa, and then the three-way fight.
Yeah.
Is amazing.
This
I'm
is
so
my-
pissed.
yeah.
A Lego set and a Funko Pop spoiled Giant Man, and I'm so
Oh
pissed.
really?
Yeah, but
I
even
remember
like, but even then, when I'm watching it, like I knew like it was about to happen because they're like on my signal. But when it happens, I'm just as enthused all the same. It's so
It
cool.
was great.
Yeah,
It was
I
great.
think this is. Yeah, I think this might be my favorite Robert Downey as Iron Man because like when they're in the third act
Yeah.
and he's just like his hand is like hovering over like the button or whatever, and he's just like
Is that
talking to
emotion
Cap,
in it?
and he's just like the way he looks at Cap and like so much sadness, like betrayal,
Did you know?
disappointment. Did you know?
Don't
Like,
bullshit
oh.
me, Rogers. Did you know? Oh, it's
Oh,
so
it's
the
so
way that
good.
the lines like ooze out of his mouth, like so much vitriol.
God,
And
damn.
when,
He's my
uh,
friend.
When he
Tony.
says yes, you
I
just
thought I
trembles
was.
back.
or something,
The
or
so was
whatever.
I, but then the
So was I,
when
yeah.
Steve's like, Tony, like he didn't know, he wasn't himself, and he's like, I don't care, he killed my mom.
He killed my
Like
Yeah,
they just
that
like he
line.
was gonna murder him. Like he really
There's
was.
this
If
great
it wasn't
moment.
for Steve, both of those guys are dead. They're gonna
There's
kill
this-
each
there's
other.
this
I
great
love the
moment.
trailer. Like, all theory is like we saw Bucky laying on the ground. Like, is Bucky dead? Is
Bucky
he dying in
dead,
this movie?
yeah.
There was
Yeah.
there's this great moment where Tony has Bucky in a headlock and he's like, "Do you even remember them?" He's like, "I remember all of them."
Oh, I'm about to say that,
Oh.
Nathan. That's my favorite. Oh, it's great. It's great.
That's a
line.
great setup for Falcon and.
Oh, but the hardest line in the
Yeah,
entire
good
movie
point.
though is when T'Challa blocks the gunshot and says, "The living are not done with you yet."
Woo!
Yeah, amazing.
Woo!
There was a brief
Missy
moment.
Chadwick.
There was a brief moment where I'm sitting in the crowd, and when Steve does that final like impact of the shield into the arc reactor, I
Mhm.
for some reason my brain autofilled that like the metal of the armor pierced Tony and killed him. I was like, "Oh no, no!"
Oh, that was the other thing I love is right after that when he's like, You don't deserve that. My father made that shield, and then Steve just throws it. I was like, man, they're gonna end this on a fucking bummer, and like it gets a little hopeful right at the end, but it really is. I think they're like, you couldn't have had a better setup for the epic conclusion of the saga. Yeah, like Infinity War, like the fact that they lose because they're not together is so smart,
amazing.
It has one of my favorite Iron Man suit ups from the helicopter.
Oh, when he leans back. So cool.
He pulls a Mr. Incredible in the car.
yeah, it is exactly like that. That was good. Who did the? Was this a Giacchino score?
It was Henry Jackman.
Oh, it's Henry Jackman.
He did Winter Soldier also, and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
His scores are good.
Nathan and I always make fun of it on our podcast, but the cut to Boston,
Queens,
cut to Queens moment, and Civil War is just still a classic for me. I'll never forget losing my mind.
It's really good, and again, like, it can't be understated. Like Tom Holland's debut is like I've never been like, yep, that's him as quickly with any.
It's perfect. Yeah.
That there's ever been, and his arc. I mean, this has been recontextualized too by No Way Home, where from Civil War all the way to No Way Home is this MCU Spider-Man origin. Like this movie really brilliantly was like, we don't need to see the fucking spider bite. We don't need to see anything. He's Spider-Man. But then now we look back on it and we're like, wow, the whole thing was getting to Spider-Man.
Yeah. When you can do the things that I can and you don't, and then the bad things happen, they happen because of you.
Which is a way better way of saying it without saying it than
Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man is like a 2-minute speech.
Nathan, what is it again? Nathan,
you have the power to help someone. You have a moral obligation to do things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility.
Moral obligation.
Nathan took it to a middle school drama class recital with that Martin
moral
Sheen.
obligation.
I like Amazing Spider-Man, but that scene is funny. But yeah, this movie juggles like so many things in terms of like, even Black Widow has the great stuff in here. This movie as well, between her and Tony, Peter. I mean, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman is on fire in this movie.
Amazing.
It just juggles so much while being
this whole plot with like the Sokovia Accords is so interesting.
Very interesting.
That's the thing too about the movie that I always tell people is, like, yes, it was great marketing to do the teams. It is 2022. I still don't know who I agree with, because it's my personal politics are such that I feel like I have a foot on both teams. Like, I don't think that there should be super fucking cops. So I get it. And I do understand Steve's fears. But I also think that accountability is so key for the people that do have power, deputized or not, that I also understand what Tony is saying. Yeah. And you get like, every person aligns with the person that they align with in a way that makes complete sense. When Vision gives his whole logic, when Clint gets dragged into it,
Black Widow being on both sides,
Black Widow being on both sides. When Clint gets dragged into for Wanda, it made sense. But what really drove it home for me, and I don't mean this like to knock Clint, because I love the character, and it's gonna sound like a joke, but I don't mean it like a joke. The MCU Clint Barton is a classic, like, I'm talking like 80s like Republican. Like, he's got a farm, he's got his family, he wants to be left alone, he doesn't want people involved in his decisions, and that all came to a head when he's like, Tony, like, the futurist is here. He knows what's best for you. He knows what's best for you. I was like, oh my God, Clint Barton is a Republican, or has at least voted R a few times. I don't think he is now.
I did not know where this was. I thought he was going to say 80s. That was no, Republican.
No. He has a Reagan Bush 84 sign.
He's
in his
like one of those types of guys. Yeah, I'm sure he's come around now. He's got teenage kids. He took them to a Broadway show. Like, I'm sure he's chilling. But like, now he's disabled. So
mentored a teenager.
A teenager.
To that point, and I think the movie's credit, it doesn't ask you to decide where you are.
No.
Yeah.
Like, it leaves it, like, again, like you're saying, like, oh shit, they're leaving it like this. Like,
also,
it does.
Like, there are 2 points. Well, if there's 2 points where the Civil War as a conflict for the film ends. Like, if had it not been for Tony letting slip that Wanda was on house arrest, Steve was gonna sign. he had the pen in his hand. Was it like the pen that FDR signed the New Deal with, or some shit like that? Like
Yeah.
some really important pen.
Wouldn't want to
And
break up the set.
yeah, he's gonna sign it. And Tony's like, we can do, you know, addendums later. We could do amendments, whatever.
How
And then
stated.
it also ends, and it also ends after the airport when Tony's like, shit, this guy was the killer the whole time. Then they team up. But when all is said and done, the conflict is kind of over, except
Then
for
the
you know,
clip.
and then the clip. And then it goes from being entirely political to entirely personal.
Mhm.
And
juggles those things very well.
So well. And like the lingering effects of this, they've been able to do in really dramatic ways, like with Hawkeye,
especially
really funny ways with Ant-Man. Yeah.
And Endgame too, like when Tony comes back, the way
Yeah. And when with Thunderbolt Ross and Steve in Infinity War, when he's like wants Rhodey to arrest them, it's like, dude, there's an alien invasion happening. Like,
No.
This is more a question for like comic book people, because like for me Marvel is a movie thing. Like
me too.
I don't read the comics. So was it interesting to you when you found out this story was a Captain America movie and not an Avengers movie?
Yes.
Way more interesting.
Yeah, it was way more interesting because this might be a hot take, I don't know, but Civil War in the comics is bad.
Oh, I think that's a normal take now.
It's terrible. I'm glad that everyone's caught up because 2006 Alden was like, I don't like this. It legitimately like it just makes everyone on Tony's side a reprehensible asshole.
Yeah,
really.
And the conflict
Tony's
is different.
Evil in that one. Like,
he is like the movie Civil War is about accountability of powers, where comic book Civil War is about secret identities.
Yeah,
but MCU doesn't have those, so they had to change it. So once they announced it, and they did that joke announcement where they announced Serpent Society, and then they were like, "Nah, we're not doing that. It's Civil War."
That whole phase 3.
I remember I was like, "Yeah, Serpent Society." Yeah.
Oh, we all totally gaslit ourselves into being excited about Serpent Society. We were like, "Oh, Captain America 3.
Oh yeah,
Serpent Society.
I can see.
Okay."
Is that a comic one? Wait, Serpent Society?
Yeah, it's a group. It's like tied in with Hydra.
It's a just to like ask the point a little more specifically. Like, is there something about it? Because like it does feel like it could have been Avengers 3.
It's Avengers 2.5
right?
Basically.
Like,
but it also has like.
But like it's such a big like movie, right? So, like, is it interesting to have tried to like nail it onto Captain America? Like, is that as a choice, like a creative choice, like how does that?
It is, because I think that, especially when announced as Captain America : Civil War, and not just Marvel Civil War, Avengers Civil War, I thought that, like I remember some of my first thoughts were, I hope we don't sacrifice the jumping POVs. Like I hope that we still do get the Iron Man side, because you know the big event, it was a 6-issue event comic, and then all these tie-ins, like it took over Marvel Publishing for like a year. Yeah. So I was trepidatious about it because I thought, oh man, are they going to fall into the comic book trap of I'm following Cap the whole time and I no longer know what's going on in the heads of the opposition? But then I saw it and I was like, oh, that was Cap 3, Iron Man 4, and Avengers 2.5. So that was the first lesson to me, like how you and I always say about Star Wars, that like it's not the title, it's like how does the title unpack and unfold? Like the Mandalorian being about so much more than just Din Djarin. Like Rebels being being sold as like a rebellion show and then being so much more. I feel that way about Captain America Civil War, where like once I saw it, I thought, oh, the title didn't matter. They just knew that they A, had a Cap sequel going on, and B, wanted to get this done before their Thanos stuff. And C, we forget how evolving this was. Like, there's a whole ready-to-go draft of this movie just in case the Sony deal didn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
And it has way more Cap, and I think they almost did Wasp. And then Peyton Reed was like, okay, you guys are already taking Giant Man. You can't take Wasp too. Like, come on. Like, let me introduce something in the Ant-Man sequel. And then there was also versions of Cap 3 if Downey didn't want to sign, because after Iron Man 3 he went picture to picture, which is the smartest business move he ever made, because then they had to jerk him off every time.
Did he make more than Chris Evans in this one?
He made more than leading Iron Man money in Homecoming.
Yeah.
Wow.
He made
definitely
starring Robert Downey Jr. fee for Spider-Man: Homecoming. So yeah.
Wow.
But to be fair, like it's not like he doesn't take everyone with him because he also threatened to walk on Age of Ultron if everyone didn't get a raise.
Exactly. I remember that.
So
Nice.
But
So the thing about this movie is that like it is Avengers 2.5, or it's balancing all the stories, but it still is fundamentally a Captain America movie.
Oh, yeah,
That's
'cause,
why
like,
I
I
like it.
agree because
the
I think
funeral of Peggy.
Yeah,
it was really like one of the
And the
emotional
way
core of the movie.
Bucky plays into it.
Yeah, and I think
so
it
much.
elevates what Winter Soldier is talking about in terms of accountability and in terms of like who's really
Mhm.
controlling who. So I think by having Captain America be the protagonist in it, I think that's the most effective route that they could have gone instead of just saying, "Oh, it's everybody movie." I think by centering it on Cap's ideals,
It's more nuanced that way.
exactly. Yeah. What was this number 6? It should have been 5.
Number
but okay.
6.
Okay, I see how it is.
Yeah. All
What's
right.
gonna
What
be
do
this?
we
It's gonna be Guardians of the Galaxy
We
Volume.
need a
2.
Guardians. We need a Guardians.
It's gonna be Volume 2. You guys are gonna jerk off to Volume 2. But let's go. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Evan,
Yeah,
before
we
I yield
are.
my time.
It should have been Shang-Chi, but it's not. Shang-Chi's not on this list because you got a bunch
Mitchie.
of, you know what.
Mitchie, what?
Mitchie!
Josh, pick him
I'm just
out.
quoting
Pick him
Josh.
out.
I'm just quoting Josh.
It's.
I'm just quoting Josh. Immediately threw Josh under the bus.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yes, he is.
The subscriber count is going down, Josh.
That's brutal to
Let me
witness.
unsubscribe to this mother as a co-host.
Unsubscribe to
What did you say, Nathan?
The subscriber count is dropping. Don't do this.
You're going down
You
a path I
said-
can't follow.
Before you yield your time, what were you to say?
No, I was saying, Evan, before I yield my time for Guardians 2.
It's gonna be Guardians
I
Volume
mean-
2. If Guardians Volume 2 is like number 4 or 3, that's crazy. But yeah, I think this is Guardians Volume 2. I think it should be the
Alright,
first
let's see.
Guardians, or it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be.
say Endgame.
Are they both gonna be? Oh, I forgot.
say
Endgame and
Endgame until
Infinity
it's
War
Endgame.
in this. Endgame, Infinity War, and Loki are 3. Probably 1, 2, and 3. I'm not sure. But Black Panther's still in this, but that should not be number 5. That should be number 3.
It's Hawkeye, baby.
I think Loki's the
You
only TV show
joke.
we haven't.
You joke. but I would
Hawkeye's my number
celebrate.
12.
Don't underestimate
Wow,
Christmas.
12.
I loved Hawkeye.
I like Hawkeye too.
In the spirit of the holidays, we should let Hawkeye on this list.
WWE.
We'll redo this in December and it'll be number 1.
Okay.
Mm,
It's Guardians
alright.
Volume 2. Come on, it's Guardians Volume 2.
Number 5.
Guardians 1.
It's Guardians Volume 2.
Guardians 1.
Volume 2.
Told you.
That's-
You guys are
top
crazy.
five.
You guys are
It's so much
crazy.
fun.
This is my
That
number
makes
1.
me-
Everyone knows that. It's
This is
always
my
fun.
two.
I knew this is you guys. I know you guys love this movie. I think it's good. I just don't think it's as good as the first one, but
I think it's better.
I like it. I think it's my number 13, 14.
It's my 10.
This movie is the ultimate example of how you can go bigger and cut deeper at the same time. Which I felt that recently with a couple other things too. But 2017 was a banger year all around. But this one, I came out of it being the only person in the group of people I saw it with that thought it was better than one, because it's like, it's wonderful to get a team together, but then they broke it up into these pairings and these trios and broke down why these people have pain. Like Drax and Mantis sitting there when Mantis cries because Drax doesn't express that way is like an all-time scene for any comic book movie. I think Ego is a terrifying, underrated villain.
I killed your mom.
The cancer stuff, but also just like his whole motivation of like, I don't want to be alone and I'm a singular being, and
Yeah.
feeling so justified in that.
The
Um,
thousands of bones of his children in the underbelly.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Can I ask a canon question?
Okay.
Is the implication that Mantis and Peter are half siblings? Because didn't he quote have her since she was a larva or something?
Yeah, but I don't think that's any like.
Like,
I
did
don't
he
think-
mate with one of her people?
Can
No,
I ask a
I think it's more just like a taking
He
on.
found her, maybe?
Can I ask a canon question?
Yeah.
Okay.
How heavy do you think that thing was when Gamora had it on her shoulder, just firing it?
Oh yeah.
That-
Oh, like
That
three
was-
What
bucks.
is the power set of Gamora? I'm still unsure.
It's my
I
double.
I would love to be like in the art department meeting of like, oh yeah, James, we're designing her big shoulder gun bigger. I want it to be
You
most
see
of
that
the
front
frame.
end of the ship? Grab it. What?
Yes.
Grab it.
Do you get it? Because it's like a cannon. She was carrying it. So it's
Yeah.
a canon question.
Yeah.
Oh, haha.
Okay.
Woo!
Get it?
This man
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
been out here doing his new Type 5.
The whole first act is phenomenal. Like I
It's one
mentioned,
of the best
the
shot
first act, but-
MCU movies to date.
Yeah.
Also,
It's
Awesome Mix Volume 2 is better than number 1, and
Yes,
that's a
I
high
agree.
fucking bar.
I
You
agree.
got
I
Fleetwood
agree.
Mac. You
Yes.
win.
Fleetwood Mac, and then father and son at the end. The Yondu funeral is my
Ah.
favorite scene in any MCU.
This
Oh,
is a Waterworks kind of
Oh,
movie.
I wept.
The
Yeah.
final
Wept.
shot is a crying raccoon, and I feel it.
Yeah.
I may have
It wasn't your daddy.
It wasn't your daddy.
It wasn't your daddy.
The Yondu death scene gets me every time.
Also,
Um,
again, like I know it's in vogue and with good reason to dunk on Pratt, but something
He's
about
great
Pratt
as
and
Star-Lord.
Gunn, he brings so much greatness out of him.
Mhm.
Where I think that Gunn is the ultimate comedy drama guy in genre happening right now. Like this and Peacemaker and the first film and the Suicide Squad. Like
especially,
it's
yeah.
just this is a very, very particular
He balances
type
that
of
like both
thing.
so well.
Very well.
Mhm.
I also
The colors.
I have to shout out the moment where this movie became a YouTube poop video, and
Oh no.
they're like jumping through all the
Ugh.
portals, and like their eyes are like going all over the place.
Love it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good.
That's genius stuff.
I think
Nicholas
Rocket
Bradley.
Raccoon is also one of my favorite characters in MCU, and like
He's great in this one.
he gets way more to do in this.
Harbulary batteries.
A lot of people complain about Drax becoming too much of a comedic relief in this movie, but I love it.
Yeah, I'm not a
The
huge
awards
fan of
for
Drax in
Batista.
this one. I'm not a huge fan of Drax in general, though. But I think he is good in this one. For me, the comedy doesn't really just work for me in this one as much as it does in the first one. I do like a lot of the emotional hits in the third act. But I think it's just a lot of hit and miss for me in this one compared to the first one. I just think the first one's tighter and more emotional for me. But
It is.
I think-
I think the first one is a better
It's
maybe
tighter, definitely.
construct. Yeah, like a better technical. Because this one does, like when people criticize it and say it stops to meander and just like explore characters, like you're right. It's just like that's why I like it.
that's not
Yeah,
possible.
me too.
Yeah.
But I would also argue big difference maker between 2 and 1 is that Ronan is barely a character and Ego has so much character. The
That's a good
Ego Brandy scene where Brandy sums up his entire ethos and motivation and what actually happened. And if you're really paying attention to what he's saying in that scene, you can kind of sense that. I mean, you can already sense that he's the villain of the movie, like obviously, but you can sense that some sinister shit happened with the mom if you're paying attention. But Peter has longed for this for so long that he's ignoring all the signs. It's so sad.
But
So
I love
sad.
that the dolly zoom when Peter realizes is so good.
Oh yeah,
That's so good.
because his eyes are changing too when it
And then when he looks
Yeah.
into the sky, he's like eternity. Oh, great.
Also
Yeah.
the chain in the final battle
Mm.
after the thing is already smashed. When
Return of the Pac-Man.
when Baby Groot is suffocating, I felt so much anxiety.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Baby Groot's fantastic. in
Baby
this.
Groot is
Yeah.
the shot to the Baby Yoda chaser. Like
Mm.
Yeah,
Like-
he definitely walked.
they
so
work.
Grogu
Yeah, they
could
work
run.
like
He's the blueprint.
he's like, come on in, baby. Yeah, no, this is definitely like a vertical motion kind of movie. It's very character heavy,
Yeah.
and as opposed to like going from A to B kind of thing. And yeah, I think a part of the discussion of like 1 versus 2, I think it's true. Like 1 is much more consistent in what it is, whereas I think this has higher peaks, higher troughs, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's
but-
kind of like. Oh yeah, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I mean, yeah, it kind of like, even though I like The Last Jedi more, it kind of reminded me of Last Jedi in terms that it's very character centric. Like each character has specific like arcs in this movie, and the feels hit very much in this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's also like going back to Multiverse of Madness and why I love that movie. It's just really fun. There's some really fun sequences. Like,
Mhm.
they
Some
come
of
a
the
bit
best comedy
closer.
for sure.
Like the scene where Rocket and Yondu would escape the ship. Amazing.
One of my other favorite scenes is when like Drax is hanging out the back of the ship, Gamora is trying to hang on to him, everybody's like freaking out, and Quill just looks at Baby Groot and he's just like eating M&Ms. Like,
so
yeah,
good.
so many just great
I-
little things. It's so good.
I love Kraglin in this film. He's,
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Oh,
actually
yeah.
a good character.
All time.
and
Mhm.
Sean
and
Gunn is so
one of my
Soup.
especially
Soup.
yeah, that is my favorite. When he's just listening to wham, bam, and it's like soup, peak.
Yeah, Kraglin's a real homie. Kraglin's
Also,
a ride or
like,
die.
I loved that for this one. They were like, how many post-credit scenes? I don't know, 7.
Yeah.
Like, it just keeps ending.
Amazing.
It just keeps
I was
going.
stunned. I remember I heard the report of 5. I was like, how? And then I'm
I mean,
watching.
it's
I'm
like Sylvester
just stop.
Stallone and Miley Cyrus.
Oh
and all
wow,
of them.
he
Like,
is in this. Yeah.
Oh, Stallone. I forgot that he was good in this. He's so
Stallone,
great.
yeah.
Remember when Kraglin was like,
Michelle
I
Yeoh.
killed all my friends?
Aw.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
damn.
That was emotional.
Damn.
The mutiny is tragic. Just watching the bodies
Yeah.
drift out.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. I might need to rewatch this one.
I told you,
should.
man.
It's
yeah, this
real
is this is
good.
one of them when I'm ranking. I'm like, I might need to rewatch it, guys. Right now, I just think it's good. But I need to watch it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
also
I think
the-
this is a real special one.
Yeah,
The
the
go-
shot of Gamora in the field. is,
Oh,
like, one of my
beautiful.
favorite
Gorgeous.
shots
The
in
Gamora
MCU.
Nebula stuff is
Gorgeous.
really great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The cinematography and score for this are criminally underrated.
Nebula's way better. Who does the score in this one?
Tyler Bates.
Tyler Bate, who was gonna do his Suicide Squad, and then I think him and James had maybe a professional falling out.
I heard they punch each other
Really?
in the face, but that's just me.
Oof.
I'm kidding. That is-
Just
Damn.
you, in my honest
Little bit of a-
opinion.
Physical
Who did
fallout.
Suicide Squad? Was
Tyler
it
Bates likes to
Tyner?
comment.
Didn't Tyner do Suicide Squad?
Sure.
I forget.
Sure.
No, did Tyner did Peacemaker? I know that.
Oh.
Suicide Squad score was John Murphy,
Mm,
and John Murphy is doing Guardians 3.
yeah.
Oh,
So
Guardians
it seems
3
like
is
they
next
hit
year,
it off
right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
with a script that, according to Gunn, hasn't really changed. Which
That's
I don't know about all that. Like,
I
I'll be
mean,
very surprised if he didn't have to
It
make
had to have
some.
changed because of
Thor
Thor,
stuff?
right? Because of
I
Thor, yeah, it had to have changed a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I guess like
my thinking
Love
was
and
that
Thunder.
Thor was gonna be a Guardian
Yeah.
for like Guardians 3.
Well, like Love and
Yeah.
Thunder kind of makes it so that he can have his original script back, because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, Guardians, you're back to Guardians.
yeah, they
Like,
put
Exactly.
him real quick.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I thought Thor was to be part of the team for a lot longer in Guardians 3. Like that's what I picked up from Endgame.
I don't know.
Like when that was originally to come first. Or
Have you seen
yeah,
Love and Thunder?
Nikki hasn't.
Okay.
it's not really spoiling much.
But no spoilers, but I think it establishes that Thor's been there for a decent amount of time. But
Yeah.
yeah, 4 through 1. So right now we're missing the Endgame, Infinity
Shang-Chi?
War, Loki, and Black Panther. That's 4. 5 to be Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be.
I don't think.
Or
Loki's
wait,
in the
4
top.
Endgame,
Shang-Chi
Infinity
number
War, Loki. It's 3 right there, and then Black Panther. That's 4. So Shang-Chi's not on this fucking
I'm gonna
list.
be
And
pleasantly
you guys are
surprised.
assholes.
I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised if Loki got this high up.
It is because Josh and I.
Where's No Way Home?
But
That's all I want.
it's not. Oh
So
wow!
far-
Wait.
Wait.
Okay,
What?
wait. Pause. Okay, I forgot about No Way Home. Wait, so. Wait.
Yes.
So,
Trying to do advanced
Chaos!
computing over
so
here.
4 again. Infinity War, Endgame, Loki, Black Panther. For me at least.
I'll tell you right now, I got
so
out of my top 10, 4 of my top 10 have made it so far.
Wow.
So I'm
Yeah,
feeling
about a
pretty good
few.
about myself.
I think 3.
I have Civil War, Winter Soldier, Black Panther, or Iron Man.
I have
3.
Guardians 2, Civil War, Multiverse of Madness, and Moon Knight.
You ruined the Moon Knight. for me.
Interesting.
Auden, I'm blaming Auden and Nikki for the Moon Knight. Crazy. Beginning.
I want to see point values. I want to see algorithms.
Me
I want
too.
to see the formulas.
If Black Panther's not on this list, I'm walking
Oh,
out.
it has to be.
It has to
It
be.
has to be.
Yeah,
All right,
that
come
for
crawling
sure.
back, are you?
Okay, would you rather
Yeah.
Shang-Chi get in the top 4 or Black Panther?
Black Panther. Black Panther, one of the best movies of all time. So it has to be.
All time.
Well, get ready for Eternals, baby. No.
I would shit my
I
pants
like
if Eternals
Eternals.
made it, and I love that movie.
I like Eternals. Yeah.
Ready for that.
All right.
So
Number 4.
Anyways, number 4 is a
What if it was
tie.
Eternal?
The tie is going to be
Oh,
Black
the
Panther-
tie! I forgot about the tie.
Black
Oh!
Panther,
Go
Black
tie left.
Panther and No Way Home is my prediction. Black Panther, No Way Home tie.
I'm scared. Why am I scared? All right.
Black
go,
Panther
let's go.
better be a
Number
top
4.
It should be.
Number 4. No Way Home.
Woo!
Okay, Queen. Oh, you saw Queen number 3. That's great.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's
Oh,
also
yeah.
in my top 10.
I'm
It's in my
surprised
top
I
10.
didn't kill this.
Here's why this is correct.
This wasn't even on yours, Nicky,
Nathan, I
right?
heard you didn't even like this movie, though, Nathan. I thought you only saw it like
10
one time.
times, baby. I saw this 10 times.
I heard the theater got pissed off. At me.
Insane.
I think this is the best Spider-Man movie ever made that's live action.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
I'm there personally.
It's so special. Like this is more of a special personal thing in terms of
Yeah.
like before quality. Like it's that experience watching
That's
this
how
in the
it should be.
theater for the first time is I'll never forget it.
These all should be how you feel about them.
This
minus
was my
quality.
dream movie. I've always wanted, but never expected to get this soon, or even in my lifetime. I really didn't. At some point, I was just thinking like, how does Doctor Strange Magic can maybe do this? Also, is Toby too old now? Would he not come back? Different studio conflict things. I was just like, this is a movie that I want to see that will never happen, and God damn it, they did it, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this is Tom Holland's best performance as the Spidey guy.
Oh, easily.
I love Doctor Strange in this movie. I like his supporting cast members. I mean, his two best friends. What are their names? MJ.
MJ and Ned.
Ned. Yeah.
Ned, your favorite character?
Not a huge Ned guy.
Really?
Nah, he's okay.
I like Ned Stark.
He's great.
Huh.
But yeah, I think the emotional core of this movie had me bawling in the third act. It's one of the best third acts of any MCU movie.
The goodbye is just.
I think the first act is
heartbreaking.
solid, but I do appreciate it. It's not my favorite first act, but it's I do appreciate it for setting up
The one shot in the apartment.
is
I always say it. It's really good.
Yeah, I like it because its whole thing is about him. People make fun of this, like, "Oh, you did this because you want to get into MIT," but it's just him wanting to be close with his friends and his relationship,
and
with his
wanting
friends.
their lives to not be affected. That's so classic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the thing about this movie is that it gets so huge with all of these appearances and crossovers, and even small things like Daredevil and like stuff like that. But it never, ever, ever stops being about a guy that just wants the transition from childhood to adulthood to be smooth. That's all it's about, and that's why Peter 1 or Peter 2 and Peter 3 are able to empathize with him because they're men now and he's still a kid. And so it doesn't they don't become a team because 3 Spider-Men will kick the most ass. Like they become a team because he's grieving and they know how they're the only people that can empathize with that.
I agree.
It's super cool. I think Andrew steals the show.
He's
Well, that's not true.
fucking
Willem
movie,
Dafoe steals the show. Dafoe in this movie is way better than he ever was in the first
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and that's a high bar.
I
already.
disagree, actually.
Really?
I think he's so good.
Because I still like Dafoe. Dafoe has so many singular moments with himself in the first Spider-Man movie. A lot of his great ones in this one are
That's
with
true, but
he's either talking to Peter or he's getting his ass kicked by Peter.
He's so
I
quotable
think-
in this, though.
Talking to himself.
Oh, he definitely is. He's phenomenal in this movie.
I still once a day,
yeah.
I'll be making my coffee, and I'll be like, "Too weak to send me home to die." He's incredible.
On sabbatical, honey.
He's the perfect.
oh, that line. Is that
On
the
about
line?
it.
Amazing.
And everyone else too, like Alfred Molina. Nikki, I know you're a
Really good.
huge Electro fan in this movie.
Well, I love one specific line that Jamie Foxx nails. Of,
It's just
hate-
Jamie Foxx.
hate
It's
the
not
woods.
Electro.
I hate the woods.
I hate the woods. I love that part. Yeah.
Jamie is perfectly campy in this movie. Yeah, I like Dafoe so much. He's the perfect foil for Tom Holland's arc in this movie. He's the perfect foil for it. So I like having.
And Marissa Tomei is
Yeah.
fantastic. And that,
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
that whole
yeah.
May death is incredible. It was
So-
the perfect time to drop the line. It was the perfect lesson for him to learn. And Cumberbatch is great in it too.
Yes.
Strange doesn't have a lot to do, but the ending with Strange, where you can tell how much he's grown to really love this kid, is really strong.
I wasn't a huge fan of Marissa Tomei's Aunt May in the first 2 Spider-Mans, but this one really got me emotional. I was like, there's no way in terms of death predictions. There's no way they kill Aunt May in this one. She wasn't even good in the first 2. But they sealed the deal in that final. And I mean, she's decent in Homecoming.
She is an
I
ant.
think she's great.
Is she even in Far From Home? I don't like that movie at all. But,
She
Oh
is.
my god.
Over the phone.
Far From Home, underrated.
It's
It's a great movie.
It's a
It-
movie. But
Hey,
she's great in the death scene.
God, a beautiful moment with Alfred Molina when he's the first one to be cured, and he comes to, and he just has that realization of just it's so quiet,
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh my God, he deserves the world, my boy.
And
Oh, the Peter. You've grown up. Like,
You're gonna
we
break
haven't
me
talked
into-
about like the
Oh, as soon as you bring up
Statue
Andrew,
of
I'm gonna
Liberty
melt.
scenes, like them interacting, the Spider-Man interacting is just so special.
the whole lab sequence,
Yeah.
amazing.
Andrew,
Oh,
just
man.
longing.
We did our
Andrew in
boy,
the lab sequence is great.
our boy Charlie Cott's back. He's back.
His
back.
scene is fantastic.
He's catching snow globes, baby.
He's good.
And as like
yeah.
someone who thinks The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the best comic book movie of all time,
Wow.
yes, I'll say that.
That's not real.
Andrew-
That's a bit, right?
No,
That's
I
not
fucking
really-
I adore that movie. I adore that movie.
It's number one on the list. You didn't know?
Over Spider-Verse?
You need to
Over
reset to
Spider-Verse,
factory
yeah.
default.
Over Logan?
It's on the Spanish
Andrew
buzz
Garfield's
mode.
Spider-Man is just so good. Like, everything he does as a
Nikki just said
character
your
is great.
settings are messed up, man. You got some calibrated.
Like,
now.
I
as
love
someone who
Amazing
believes
Spider-Man
that,
too, but
seeing Andrew back in this role was so special, and he
Oh,
just nails it so
It
well.
truly is. Like as soon as that portal opened, I saw that silhouette. I'm like, that. There he is.
There's
The
their
eyes
boy.
give it
We're
away.
we're truly in the age of getting another shot at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
With
Absolutely.
Star Wars, with Michael Keaton, with
Jon Snow.
John Snow.
Yeah.
Jon Snow coming up.
Um, and
The
then Andrew-
Ghostbusters.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Unfortunately.
if you had
oh my god.
if you had asked me before this movie came out, I was positive once we knew for sure that this was happening, like I was positive that he was gonna save MJ. I didn't know how, I didn't know, but it just felt like if you're gonna follow up Amazing Spider-Man 2,
And
you gotta
they
let this
fucking
man
nail
save
it.
someone. And when she started to in the trailer when she falls, I'm like, that's not Tom Holland. I was like,
Yeah.
Tom Holland's not gonna save her.
And
And the second that he did the dive, my whole
It's-
theater lost it. Like,
Yeah.
people
This-
lost
And
it.
are you okay?
Yeah.
Then Zendaya
Oh.
saying,
Oh.
"Are you okay?" Back.
Oh.
Oh my god.
This segment is so beautiful because Tom dives down and like he's about to grab, but then fucking Goblin interjects, and
Yeah.
Andrew's in a panic, and he doesn't web for her like before. He goes in for a full hug and
Mhm.
dive to be sure.
He's learned.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah, I was the one who was against it because I was like, I want Tom to be the one to do it.
yeah, you
but-
dumb.
Damn. But anyways, the
You and
scene
my
hits.
tan.
The scene hits.
Sometimes
I think
the
it's a great
most
scene.
straightforward thing is the right thing.
Yeah,
Best thing. Yeah.
Yep. Obvious does not indicate quality at all.
100%.
I haven't heard the rageful, bitter speech Andrew gave, and he was like, "All right, you can do it."
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, as soon as I saw Andrew in the movie, I started like tearing up. I'm like, okay, this is my guy.
Right. Yeah.
He's one of my favorite actors working today. I just love him.
Maybe they were right.
Nathan was right. Your sister was right. But yeah, this is number 4 is good. I think this is like number 8 or 7 for me. I forget on my list, but I appreciate it. It's a great movie.
Number 3, I think, for me.
Nathan's number 1, obviously.
We'll get to our list.
Okay.
So, how do we think the rest of
You
this
don't
is
know me.
going to play out?
So how is there still a tie?
It's probably
Infinity
Shang-Chi
War.
and Black Panther are tied. Watch.
Because of Evan. No.
Typical
think-
that this country would make
No, no,
them share a slot.
God, you're right.
Awful.
I'm
Shang-Chi
gonna-
was like number 6 for me, so it's not on this list because you guys suck. But
I think Loki's got to be here. I feel like Loki scored high enough on enough lists. Surely.
for me, it's Loki, Black Panther, Avengers, and Endgame. Loki, Black Panther, Avengers, Endgame. So which one's tying? Is Black Panther with Infinity War? I think Black Panther's with
I don't
Infinity
know. Cause I don't want to just.
Well,
play
let's
all
get to
my-
the tie right
Yeah,
now.
just-
Number
let's do it.
3,
Get it.
Infinity War
Okay.
Endgame.
Oh,
down
no.
this way.
Interesting.
Cool. That's kind of cool.
Oh, we're down
actually.
this way.
War. How did that happen?
I like
I'm fine
that.
with that.
That's
I'm actually
Wow.
very
Love
fine
it.
with that.
Love this
honestly,
placement.
this is like
That's
such a
perfect.
perfect.
That
like,
feels
one
right.
Epic. It's
Yeah.
That does feel right.
Holy
because
shit.
it's very
artwork
hard
for
for
it,
me
too.
to like. I like Endgame more, definitively. I know that,
Me too.
but they feel like such a two-parter, even though they backed away from that and they really did go for more the 3 and 4 approach. It's
Yeah.
still a two-parter.
It's still two-parter, yeah.
It's still a
don't-
two-parter, yeah.
I mean, you know, the runtimes can be daunting to even like suggest as a double feature, but if you take the time to do it, it is
works
so
so
rewarding.
well.
How long is Endgame again?
3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours, 2
Over
minutes.
3, yeah.
And then Infinity
not
War is like
feel like 3
245
hours.
or something. Infinity
I think it's
War's
like 2:30.
ending in a theater is one of my favorite moments
Yeah.
that I've ever had, where everyone, people were either crying because of
Sniffles.
Spider-Man, they were just flabbergasted. Kids didn't know what the fuck was going on. I loved
wild.
seeing kids leaving the theater deflated. Is that evil?
I was like that.
Maybe, but I was just like,
See, I love Endgame more, but I remember my seeing Infinity War for the first time more. Like just
The
the
death-
ending alone.
The death of Spidey literally broke me. I remember I was in the theater. I had to cover my mouth because I was sobbing too loud. I really hit me. And then when Endgame came out, like he came through the port, I'm
Yeah.
cheering. But then when he hugs Tony, I'm once again sobbing.
That Portals moment will go down in history. Like it already has. It's
the Portals
Yeah.
moment was incredible. But like,
Thor-
even just like, oh, go ahead.
This
Yeah.
was a Thor
Yeah.
landing in Wakanda in Infinity War,
yeah.
and watching my theater at that moment was when I was like, I need to make movies. Like this is what it's about. Like this
Yeah.
right here is what it's about. It was one of the most incredible moments, and like I always rank that as my favorite theater moment in the MCU because
Mhm.
Endgame felt more like a concert.
It was all like that. Like the whole
Like,
thing was like that.
It was just like, oh my god, like we're not
Yeah.
even like watching a movie anymore. Like we're just going nuts. Like I remember when giant Ant-Man punches the big
The
like
Leviathan.
space thing in
Yeah.
whatever the fuck those are called. He like punches it out of the sky. I just remember screaming, "Oh shit!" Like
As-
it wasn't even like it was like we
Yeah.
ceased to be watching a movie like in theater, and like everyone was just rolling around.
But like the
Um,
fucking like even going back to the ending of Infinity War,
Mhm.
the brilliance of like so you could approach it cynically, like the deaths don't mean anything because you killed everybody that we know is going to go on. But like no,
cares?
like it's the drama is about who survives, and they killed everyone except the original Avengers, like and some
I did not see that coming.
side characters. But if the OG6, like when the cards, like that year of waiting for the next movie, it was
I-
like wow.
That
like,
was the
we're back
thrilling
to
I have
year.
I have
Avengers.
the absolute funniest review on my channel or Infinity War with my friend. We did like a pre-vlog before going, and we were like guessing who would die, and we were like, it wouldn't be Spidey, he's too new. Black Panther,
Yeah.
too new. They wouldn't
know his
kill,
movie coming
out.
They wouldn't
That's
kill Groot.
so-
He's too
yeah.
lovable.
Groot. Oh, when James Gunn, someone asked James Gunn, what does Groot say when he dies? And the answer
Father.
was dad, like question
Yeah.
mark.
Whoa.
Like dad. I was like, James, stop it. It's
Oh.
fantastic. It's great.
Endgame-
Inside of Infinity War is the best Thor movie. Um,
yeah.
Endgame is
Endgame and Infinity War.
And
is I
Thanos'
think the
journey is
best part
just
for
so
Thor.
well done.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
Endgame is so fantastic. Like I knew, like obviously, like the finale goes down is just like, you know, amazing. But and the intro too going in is like great. But then like as a big fan of time travel shit and stuff, as soon as they were like
At second
laying
hour.
out the time heist, I started ascending. I was like, we're doing it.
So cool.
See, I even loved the first hour of Endgame, where it's these characters like dealing
I do
with
too.
it.
Oh,
and
first
how
hour
they
yeah.
like,
hits.
move on. Yeah,
When
it's
Tony
so
comes
good.
back and he's just like
Yeah.
looking at him and Rogers reuniting, and he's just out. of it.
Everything,
Dan's like,
Oh.
everything with Morgan Stark is brilliant.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
Yes.
Say
Yes.
it.
I use the stones to destroy the stones.
So- what a line.
Eek! I will say my
Dan's
my
like,
favorite. I will say my favorite scene is maybe not one you might think off the top of your head, but it's everything with Thor reuniting with his mom and just
Oh,
getting that building
beautiful.
back up.
broke me.
Tough.
I
Yeah.
love it. I
You're
adore
still
it.
worthy.
Oh,
Yeah.
That whole thing, because it's such a real. And again, like there's the controversial, problematic element of the fat suit, and I completely understand. But
yeah, I don't love it.
the
Me neither.
depiction of depression, the other characters joking about it is not cool. But
Yeah,
what
I think
he's
that's-
going through,
I think that's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Like, I
exactly,
don't mind
yeah.
the fat Thor. It's
Yeah.
just the
The joke
Other
using it as a
people.
punchline
yeah,
is
True.
Like
less,
the eat a
Um,
salad
is less
joke,
good.
don't love it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and again, it's also who jokes. Like Rocket Raccoon joking about it is one thing, but then Rhodey said something about like Cheese Whiz, and it's like, shut up, Rhodey.
And his
Like,
mother too. Like,
Excuse me.
Yeah, but all of the emotions there. John Favreau at the end with the, your dad really liked cheeseburgers. That's when I started crying.
Oh,
I was bawling at the
it's
cheeseburgers
so
line.
hard.
Yeah, so much of this, everything. I mean,
this
even
movie
people that
just-
don't get a lot to do.
Both of these are just very ballsy. Who would have expected going in
Yeah.
that like there will be a 5-year time skip within the MCU?
Yeah, where
No,
it's
oh
Thanos'
my.
head being chopped off into 5
5
years
years
later.
Yeah,
later?
It's-
that was a
awesome.
gasp
So
moment.
good.
It was
That's-
awesome
That's
because that
ballsy as
opening,
hell.
has so much momentum.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
up until the head chopped off. So that beginning of Tony and Nebula, everybody recovering. When
Let's go get this son of a bitch.
let's go get the son of a bitch. I was like, damn, this movie's moving at
And
a
it cuts
clip.
to a title card.
And we
like,
knew
that's
it was
him.
3 hours long, so I was like, "What is happening? Are they gonna fight
Is there a
Thanos
fight sequence?
for 3
Yeah.
hours? Like, is it gonna escape? Like, it just plays with your expectations so beautifully. Can I just say real quick in that sequence?
Yeah.
Thor and Captain Marvel have more chemistry in that one little interaction than most couples do in any comic book films. When
Wow.
she just like smirks at him when he catches Stormbreaker, he's like, "I like this one." I was like, "Please fuck right now." like, please, we can get Thanos in the hot 20 minutes. Like, everybody go suit up while we handle this. Like, it was.
Yeah.
Mm.
I want to
But,
give shout out to Brie
yeah.
Larson. This is the first time she played Captain Marvel because this is her before she did this.
Yeah, it
She
was
before.
done
filmed this
before.
first.
Yeah.
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 And I think
Wait,
she's great in
yeah,
this one.
right.
I like her scenes in the first act and like how she comes in like a badass,
Yeah,
fighting
she was
Thanos one-on-one. It's
Great.
Mm.
Great. And that was like added stuff too. That what they
amazing.
their ability to give even the people that don't have arcs, because there's so many people, everybody's moments are still so strong. Like Doctor Strange isn't in this
Yeah.
until the end, but his presence and like what he did
The
loom
one-
over the whole thing. And the little one with his
the shaky
Cumberbatch
hand, it's so
committing to the
good.
shaky hand because he's that good.
Oh.
It's just
And then
Thanos
Tom
is-
Holland. Tom Holland in this is unfucking believable. When he's
Yeah.
like with Tony, it's like, oh, that's when your heart breaks.
Then
Like, when you see
Pepper's
him.
line, "You can rest now," just gets me every time.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
and I
you're
love
calling. I was
the
gone.
pre-recorded Tony message, the monologue.
Oh,
because-
yeah,
oh yeah.
With the context of real life, obviously like the T'Challa stuff wasn't supposed to be the last T'Challa stuff,
Mhm.
but it's so beautiful now that it is just him and his mother and his sister like, looking out
Overlooking
over
the
over their
fireworks.
kingdom. Like, oh, it's powerful.
then
It's so
Hope
good.
and Scott, like what in the fireworks too, with
Yeah.
Yeah.
grown up.
I will say
Catherine
Different
I
Hope.
I really really simp hard for Catherine Newton, but it's still fucked up that they got rid of
Yeah.
the
They would generally
Cassie from this
For
movie.
real.
Yeah,
That's
that's still fucked up.
She was so good.
She's great.
Um,
And Scott is great too. Like he's still Scott, even though
probably my
the
favorite part of
stakes
the
are
movie.
so
like,
high.
he's so good.
yeah. I love the arc with Hulkiness just coming into his own. Like he finally
Dab.
found the peace.
Mm.
Yes, there's the funny moments, but the fact that
With
he's able
your
to
mother.
find
I
the
love it.
peace, bridge his minds, and like he's coming to he's the only one who can truly like snap everyone back because of the emits gamma radiation. So like his exposure to it way back when wasn't all for nothing. He's not like there is a purpose. Like finally,
To his curse.
yeah.
What was that deleted scene that was in like the extended thing they released in theaters?
It was like
him.
it was like a pre diner like intro scene where he's like
It was
saving
him like
people.
becoming that.
He's already that. He's just like saving people.
Oh, okay,
Answering the phone on an iPad. But,
interesting.
but yeah, no, this scene's great. I also love the line Tony says, like, remember, like, you're just bringing back everyone past 5 years to now, today. Don't change anything else because you can't lose Morgan.
Mhm.
So good.
Also, the small things of like after that, when Bruce is talking to, is he talking to Clint or is he talking to Steve? And he's like, "I tried to bring her back, man. I really did." Like, but those rules are so
He's
firm.
Clint,
Both
yeah.
Infinity War and Endgames sacrifice scenes
Yeah,
are strong. Anyone that does the bullshit of like it should have been Clint just because they don't like the character, I'm sorry, but
it's
like
a purpose. He has a family.
it's a purpose. He has a family that Nat loved. We established that in Age of
Exactly, yeah.
Ultron. She's like the aunt. She's bringing them back too. She's choosing.
It's not just for twins, for her too.
Yeah, she's choosing everyone that she's grown to love. That's what she says when she's making her peanut butter jelly sandwich.
And
like, didn't have a
Scarlett
family,
Johansson is
and-
the best she's ever been as Nat in this movie.
I'd say she's
I
better in her movie, but it's
I
like
think she's
razor
fantastic.
thin. Yeah, she's super good. All of that really like high-end opera stuff with the Stones. And I will also say the ending, like Nikki and I know someone that viscerally hates the Steve ending. I don't give a shit.
I
The Steve ending
fucking
is
love it.
fantastic.
It's
adore
my
I think it's
favorite
great.
ending in any.
The
I
Steve
think it's
ending
really
is beautiful. Do I give a
I
fuck?
love Stephen
I don't give
Peggy.
a fuck how the time travel works. I know the Russos and Marcus McFeely disagree on it.
I don't
It's
know
so
how.
weird.
It makes
The
no
writers are
sense.
against their own logic that they wrote. It's weird.
I don't know
Yeah.
what the writers are thinking, but yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're
that-
in favor of an alternate universe, right?
yeah, which makes no sense.
No, he
That
is
scene
his own. Like, the implication to me is that Steve, not to make it weird, but like either Peggy had a first husband or Steve has always been the dad of these people that he didn't know.
I don't think
Um,
that.
I don't
Yeah,
think
maybe
that.
she had a first husband. Because then Agents of Shield give her Sousa or something, or
Yeah,
Agent
but
Carter did.
Honestly,
But
don't really
still.
care about
yeah,
the time
the
travel in
Russos
this
made it
course.
No.
very clear. I hate getting
It's
into
super
it.
good.
Anyways,
and
yeah,
and people that get mad that he like left Bucky, it's like, need I remind you that Bucky found peace. T'Challa asked him to take
They were
up
never
arms.
as
one
much
more
as I
time.
champion for like gay representation. They were never gonna be. Like,
Oh,
Steve
not in
was
a gay way.
always-
Not in a
always
couple
gonna
way.
be-
But
But
people
even
have
that
said
too,
like,
people get
oh,
mad about
like why would he
that.
leave his friend? He doesn't have anyone. It's like Bucky
has-
was having a great time farming.
he's a
like,
grown man.
yeah.
He's fine.
It's also the
Yeah.
He's a grown
it's also
man.
the great challenge of the follow up of Falcon and Winter Soldier of taking two characters and saying, "Who are you without Steve Rogers?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's great story setup.
Great setup. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why it's number one on the list. No,
Oh my god.
but this is
Be a
I-
twist.
I'd be
a
remiss
shock.
not to like discuss the arc set up at the very first Avengers film. The argument between Tony and Steve. He's saying,
Mhm.
"You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, lay down the wire, the crawl over you."
yeah.
The vice versa, where he says, "Hero like you're a laboratory experiment, Rogers. Everything special about you came out of a bottle. Now, when you flip over, come here." Tony does make the sacrifice play, and also Steve. He's a fucking worthy mortal that can wield Mjolnir. It's fucking amazing.
The Steve Mjolnir is an unreal moment. And real quick before we move on from these,
I knew
jumping
it.
back to Infinity War, talking about arcs that like pay off, I think that there's like people really dogged on Star-Lord for ruining everything in Infinity War, but it's like that tracked, I thought, so beautifully with Guardians 1 and 2 in terms of how he
Oh,
would
yeah.
emotionally react to having
Yeah.
yet another loved one ripped away after everything that he'd been through, because
Mhm.
Guardians 2 takes place 6 months after 1.
Right.
So he's been sitting on those losses and sitting on the ego experience for a while. By the time this movie comes around, they've been a family. And for him to lose Gamora, like, shit, yeah, I'd punch him in the face. Like, that made perfect sense to me. I think all the
Man,
character stuff in both of these.
Characters gotta fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what is the point?
What's the point?
And you gotta, and it's true to who they are. Like,
Yeah.
that's the other thing. Like Infinity War, I remember people being like, "It doesn't matter because they're gonna come back." I'm like,
That's who
to
cares?
quote Doctor Strange, "It's not about you."
Yeah.
Right? Like the
characters don't know.
the reason we connect to stories is because we get inside the characters' feelings, and yeah, they don't know. It like the tension is
Yeah.
not about what you know as a dumbass sitting in a theater chair. The question is, what the hell are these people gonna do? Because I think about, if I were them, what the hell would I do? Right? Like, again,
It's
smooth brains don't get it.
it's so funny whenever someone like complains about the Star-Lord thing, because then all right, man, all right. Before he fucking punches Thanos, turn off the movie. Are you satisfied? Do you have fun? No, shut the fuck up. Watch the movie. It's great.
And just but to go back to Infinity War, like Alden said, this is Thor's best movie. Like everything they do with Thor in this movie, like the scene between him and Rocket, where it's like I lost my brother, my everyone, and he has nothing to lose anymore. It's so tragic.
What more do
the
I have?
Rocket and Thor relationship, bonding over trauma and being
Yeah.
these creatures, like
Mhm.
even before it got really heavy, even when they first meet Thor, when Thor's like, "You must be the captain of this vessel," and he's like, "You're very observant." Like the way,
Sweet rabbit.
yeah, their whole bond and Groot, who it's hard to convey character with him overall, but just and the first two do it so well. But for the Russos to do it when it's not just a Guardians film. They give Groot this teenage characterization of being so checked out, doesn't give a shit about anything, has a bad attitude, he's cursing at them, he's playing his little game. When he sees that Thor is in need, and you could see it on his face, and they cut away, then they cut back, then they cut away.
Yeah.
Then when they cut back and he slices his own arm off,
After
I
burning
was
his
like,
hand.
fuck yeah. I was like,
he scolded.
this is so good.
Then also the Guardians introduction in Infinity War is so it just feels so much like those.
Oh,
One of the best music cues in the
Rubber
MCU.
Band
Yeah.
Man.
Definitely.
Oh, I love that song.
Space. Queen.
Yeah.
Throw it out to the theaters, baby.
The title cards in
Yeah.
Infinity War is so good.
Yeah.
I also love the line, "You are a dude. This is a man."
This is yeah.
Like a
Oh,
pirate
this
had
also
a
has
an
this
angel.
also has Drax turning invisible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're gonna get to. I assume we're gonna do our personal top tens, but I love Infinity War. Like Infinity
Yeah.
War is so good to me.
A blast.
Let's get to
The
number
intro,
two.
like the beginning of Infinity War, is so good. Like him killing Loki and is that whole
Oh,
Thor. I do for Thor so much. Like Thor Ragnarok, especially. I love Thor Ragnarok and just going from Thor Ragnarok to Infinity War to Love and Thunder. Like this guy.
Loki's ending. Tom Hiddleston, he only gets that one scene, but when he takes the brief beat before he says Odin's son, and he like kind of
Yeah.
looks over at him, like
Oh.
the arc is done, like it's over, and that's why it was so brilliant for them to have him watch his life in Loki,
Yeah.
because the big concern about that show is shit, like we're gonna do this show without the character development, like that's a challenge. And they were able to find new ground with him, which I thought was
Save it for the
really,
Loki
really
talk in a
strong.
few minutes here.
we did
we're
to it.
gonna-
Evacuate the city.
forget to.
Engage all defenses.
Get all the
Get this man a
Show
shield.
us number 2.
They did not get
One more,
That's great.
one more thing about endings.
If it's
that
Black Panther, I'll lose my mind.
It is Black Panther.
Another one of my
It better be
favorite
one.
shots is the shot of close up of Steve and his eyes when they go into space.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
Endgame.
Great scene.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, when you said Steve, I thought you were gonna say Steve holding the gauntlet and pushing Thanos back.
That too, yeah.
Like,
Great
and
one.
Thanos is kind of like Jesus. Like, I
Yeah,
didn't know you could be that strong.
Oh my god, we
Yeah.
didn't even talk about the Vision and Wanda deaths.
I was about to bring that up.
Fucking
That
Incredible.
the way it comes back in Multiverse when she says, "I destroyed my own or my husband" or whatever she says,
Man,
and then it meant nothing.
Oh,
Mhm.
So shout out to Paul Bettany for dying 3 times in 2018.
Yeah,
god damn.
that's right. Because
In the same month?
two
Right?
times in Infinity War, and then
It's
in
about the same
Solo.
month. Yeah.
Yeah. Much to Bob Iger's
Right,
chagrin,
yeah.
it was in the same month.
Yeah.
Amelia Clark
right.
and Elizabeth Olsen.
I'm gonna show 2 and 1 at the same time, just so there's no surprise.
Black Panther, then Loki, of course.
And,
2 and 1 at the same time. Okay.
Yeah,
Black Panther. gotta be
Boys?
one, Come on.
boys,
Oh.
we fucking did it. Black
Ant-Man
Panther.
the Wasp.
Ah!
Whoa! I don't know.
I think this is partially me because I was struggling between Loki and Black Panther. I'm like, Black Panther is easily the best movie, but then Loki is a great TV. It might be recency for
My
me.
number 1.
If
number one, too.
if I change it today, I could easily change Black Panther as 1 and
Loki
as
was my
2.
2.
But
Which again, I don't have it in my MCU ranking.
Let's
but
talk
to
about
put
Black
the shows
Panther
in.
first.
right,
because
right,
I-
Already like it shouldn't be there, but since it is, and it has to.
For
be
the
one
purposes
thing.
of Josh's experiment.
Yeah,
I'll accept it because one is a movie, one is a TV show.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go back up to the best
Yeah,
movie.
what's the
Let's
Black
go.
Panther?
Let's go to the
We gotta
best movie.
give it
Black
its
Panther is the best movie. It is 100. It's a flawless superhero movie.
The
This
soundtrack.
is for,
The
oh,
score,
soundtrack,
oh my god,
score.
Ludwig
This
Göransson.
score is
Oh.
unreal.
Yes.
The
He's iconic
ancestral
now.
plane,
Oh,
the
When
violins.
it cuts, yeah. Oh my god.
Well, all the strings. I'm sure it was more than just violins, but all the strings in Ancestral Plane. Fuck, what a well-earned Oscar. Ruthie Carter's costumes are just like
That first trailer, dog.
unreal.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the Legend Has It trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh.
Cool.
Run the Oh my god! I was like, no way did they put Run
I'm
the
getting
Jewels.
chills
on
just
this
talking
trailer.
about that trailer. That trailer got me so hyped.
And then,
I'm
like,
hooked on that song.
again, like people that try to reduce this to like another hero just fighting the bad version of himself at the end. It's like you don't
But
fucking
it's
get it.
Get outta
done
here.
so well.
You don't fucking get it. Like the why they're fighting is so powerful.
Odin, the CGI, the CGI.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you literally have
Grandma.
these like one guy representing the
And, like,
diaspora and one
you
guy
get-
representing the royal
You
family.
get Hunter, but you get
And-
his point of view 100%.
Yes,
You
all
feel
of
like
this
fighting
shit,
for it.
all of this buildup from their fathers has come to this point, and they, you know, it should not be lost on anyone. They fight in an underground railroad, and all these people are like, but the suit CGI. It's like, get the fuck, go back to cinema skins, you dumb fuck. Like, I'm
They
so
don't.
sick
They
of
don't
these people.
deserve it. Like they don't
They don't
deserve
deserve
to
it.
be able to buy a
No.
ticket and watch it.
Michael B.
Nope.
Jordan as Killmonger is one of the best superhero castings ever.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
He's incredible.
It's
he's
so
my favorite
good.
actors ever. And
This
he's
has,
Sterling K.
I
Brown.
think-
good.
Sterling K.
Yes.
Brown.
I was about to say this has the most underrated MCU scene ever, when Njobu talks to the kid Killmonger, and it's like flashing back and forth, and he's like,
no tears for your
"No
father?
tears for me." Oh my
Sterling
god!
K. Brown. Oh
I was
my
in the
God.
theater just fucking.
Tears.
Forrest
Here's your
Whitaker.
tears.
Sterling K. Brown came in for that one role, and he just killed it. And this is
Uncle
this is us
Uncle
era.
James and his guilt.
Oh,
Because I don't remember his real name.
No.
Zari, I think.
Zuri.
Zuri.
Zuri. Yeah.
Zuri.
It's
Oh,
so
also
good.
Lupita Nyong'o,
Yes.
incredible.
More of her, please.
And
No,
even
you're
though
right.
even though she's a wackadoo, but we didn't know she was a wackadoo at this point. And Letitia was amazing in this.
She's
movie.
great in this one.
She really
Yeah,
is. Like
she's great.
Shuri
What
was
are
the comedy
Look at
breakout,
those.
and Shuri in Infinity War, when she's like,
Yeah.
"Why didn't you guys do this?" And Bruce is like, "We didn't think of it."
Yeah. Yeah, the supporting cast is just
Andy
phenomenal.
Serkis.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, Bilbo.
Right.
Martin Freeman. Yeah.
Yeah, Martin
Bilbo.
Freeman's great. Walking
Angela
Dead.
Bassett.
Angela
Walking Dead.
Bassett.
What's the Walking Dead girl? Denai
Denai Guerrera. Yeah.
Awesome. The
We
wig.
said Kaluuya.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, he's great. And again, characters that you understand their points of view, and that T'Challa, like everything that Killmonger is saying ideologically is right. And yeah, you can get into that. It's a popular topic right now, and I understand it. Like we give villains the right points and then make them go too far just so we can undermine those right points. I get it, but I think
That's
that
why they're villains.
right.
Yeah.
And
No, like
T'Challa's
that's basic.
yeah,
like-
like Killmonger saying like your isolationism and sitting on these resources, like everything he's saying is right. Like look where I grew up versus where you grew up. I was abandoned.
Ooh.
Comes in beautifully in the ancestral plane when he's like, "Why didn't you bring him home? You are wrong."
Speaking of the
oh.
ancestral plane, I just want to play something for you because this is one of my favorite music cues in like any film.
Oh, please.
DMCA.
I don't care.
Oh,
Chills.
So good. Beautiful.
that's it right there. When I
Yeah.
heard it in the theater, the I was like, "Oh,
Chills.
like Oscar won, like
Amazing.
right there."
Mm.
But yeah, like at the end of the film, what T'Challa represents to me and why he's he should be listed in the great kings of pop culture is that he represents synthesis. Like he's like, yes, he was unequivocally right about the flaws in our approach. However, sending militia around the
His
world to kill
execution.
people is
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
But we should have the foundations and the centers and the United Nations and everything. And he's able to combine the approaches of his father and Killmonger.
In a perfect way. Yeah.
And the sunset shot when Killmonger is dying, like
Oh my god.
When Killmonger says like, "Bury me in the ocean like my ancestors that jumped from the ships," because they knew that death was better than bondage.
Yeah.
I remember coming out of the theater. I saw it in a theater with a predominantly black audience, many of whom were in traditional African garb. And I heard someone repeating that, crying in the lobby after the movie. And that's when I thought, like, I'm in a moment. Like this is a moment.
That's such an important thing about this movie. I think I
It's
had
a
this
moment,
same thing
yeah.
where I almost didn't go opening night because when this movie came out, like I wasn't like hardcore MCU, so I was like, oh, I'll go eventually, and then I ended up being bored, and I was like, okay, let's see if there's any availability. I got the last seat in this theater, and I remember walking in, and yeah, it was the same thing as like mostly black audience wearing the traditional clothing, and it's like, wow, this is different. Like, this is new. This is not something I'm used to. And it goes back to the point I made with Moon Knight. You put the right people, not just in front of the camera, behind the camera, and something else clicks into it.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler like crafted something,
and he's amazing. I mean, like, yeah, like this is my number one for the whole list. This is I think the greatest, again, like, elevation. There's superhero movies, and then there's like, oh, this is fucking something else.
Yeah.
And
like the only one nominated for Best Picture. And
my favorite shot in the MCU is the upside down throne.
The music too.
It's genius, and it's like, this movie accomplishes things that not a single other movie the MCU's done.
I think I'm gonna watch this when the stream's over. Like, it's been too long. Like, honestly, I really, and to cite Coogler again, I think Creed is the greatest sports movie ever made. One of the greatest sequels / like one of those rebootquels people call them, like legacy sequels. Like, it's one of the best ever made. And Fruitvale Station's phenomenal. Like, when he was announced, I was like, this is the guy. And then to find out he wasn't even their first choice. That Ava DuVernay said no.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Like, how
he was hot off of that Oscar.
Crazy, like that Coogler. And I don't want to date this episode too much, but I will. Like, Wakanda Forever, I think, is going to be their 30th movie. It's the single greatest filmmaking challenge they've ever faced. On every level, whether that's Letitia being a moron,
Studios, like,
Letitia being injured, like the commitment. I respect the commitment to not recasting. I get it. I think it was noble, and they had to make a statement quick. I get all the optics. I think that if you had given Fahey 6 months, he would have come around, and they would have used T'Challa, especially after the experience they've had on it.
Yeah.
But if Wakanda Forever is even half as good, it deserves applause.
Yeah,
with everything.
It's made Winston do or the new Black Panther. But
he doesn't worship the same God. That's the problem with that theory.
Yeah. Get out of your fucking normie.
That's the whole point of the union of the tribes, Josh. He's a mountain tribe, Josh.
Winston Duke is so cool.
He is so cool.
Great.
I'll tell you right now. Everybody's had like their. It should be this character. It should be this character, and no one says the obvious answer. It should be Nakia. It should be Lupita. Yeah. Because Lupita is her whole thing in the first movie is she's not a Dora. She goes around the world. She was one of their only people that was doing outreach. She was T'Challa's lover who knew him the best.
Is she back in Wakanda?
Oh yeah, remember? Yeah,
she's back.
It's her and
she's back.
It's her and Shuri who are the ones like going to investigate everything.
Is Daniel Kaluuya back?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
I think everybody's coming back besides
Kaluuya would be interesting for
interesting pitch.
Yeah, he'd be interesting in terms of like I betrayed him and now I need to redeem myself and earn his slot. That's a good angle. The Nakia angle.
Also, he's an Academy Award winner now, so that's a good play to have him be a star.
The Shuri stuff is like that's the natural pick because she's Black Panther.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't.
But I think
even before it,
100%.
Yeah, I think she'll wear a suit.
Yeah,
I think we'll see. Maybe I think the family will all do it in the film. I think Queen Ramonda, especially after What If, where she's the general, and like we know she.
How do we think they address T'Challa though? Do they kill him?
I think he dies. I think that maybe it opens on a funeral. They're gonna do what I thought Episode 9 was gonna do, which was open on a funeral. Like before we knew that they were gonna do Carrie's footage.
Yeah. I really don't want them to. I've been preaching this forever. Like when you lose a performer of a very special role, like the automatic answer to your story doesn't have to be like they're dead now, they're gone. For some reason, the only films that have done this have been Fast and Furious and Star Trek Beyond. Everyone else just plummets. But like you could just craft a story, man. Just take the direction away. Like
how would they do that?
T'Challa is a very important person. He could be busy with one thing while this other conflict happens.
Nobody would care.
But they want a new star to be Black Panther, though.
That's the thing is that the problem is that you're selling it to families too. Like Black Panther. Like we would all appreciate the boldness of that, but I also think that like on
They
a business
want
level,
to make this
it's
going.
like-
They don't want to just end it.
and wasn't it? I think Chadwick's brother has since said like they probably should have just recast it. It's what he would have wanted, and it's like
Is that
I-
not good enough?
It just feels
Right,
like
like,
me.
If the family is like, do it, like, is that not good enough to just?
and again, I
It
think
was
that if
after,
I
though.
think that
It
if
could've been,
he,
but-
I think that if they had been given time to breathe, they would have come around on the idea. But they were acting in a very like all the eyes in the world are on you. What are you gonna do? And I think he was afraid of being disrespectful.
and still been in production since
But
like what?
even
2019?
still, I just feel
It's
like
been so long.
recasting it just feels weird in terms of because Black Panther means so much to me and to everybody. Just feels like
Yeah.
weird going from one movie to the next and being like,
Totally.
here's
And it
Black
would have been,
Panther
like,
again.
The whole press tour would have been, "How are you, actor,
Yeah.
gonna
Mhm.
Yeah.
step up?"
It
And
just,
like, there
like,
are people that could have done it. I
Who
mean,
do you
like
get?
I do
Yaya
love the
Abdul-Mateen.
taster like going
I-
with it. We're
I
focusing
like
more
him.
on
So good.
Wakanda.
Yaya is
Fuck.
who you get. That's
Fuck, he'd be
I've been
good.
thinking about that. Like somebody asked
Oh,
me, like, who do you
Jesus.
get to replace him?
But it just feels weird to me when they recast. Like it works in a TV show, but in a big studio movie,
Especially
like
because we
this,
all know. That's
'cause,
the
like,
thing.
I just can't differentiate. So I wouldn't know.
You know who you
Yeah.
get?
It's an impossible decision.
Don Cheadle.
I'm in.
We should make that his bit. He's just gonna fill all
Emmy
the-
Award nominated Don Cheadle.
Oh,
Holy
God.
Don
shit.
Cheadle is Black Panther.
Oh, that's
It's-
right. He got an Emmy for
Falcon Winter
Oh,
Soldier.
a nomination.
Yeah.
A nomination.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is
Fine.
tough. It's a tough discussion, and it's very different
Yeah.
to something like Dumbledore, where Dumbledore is obviously super necessary,
Integral.
but not the main character.
Yeah, and
Like,
that
not
was
the
a
title
that was a,
character.
There's only
a
one
man
movie.
dying
too.
of old age.
It's 2 movies.
Was it two movies?
Um,
Yeah.
He did 2
Yeah.
movies and he died of old
Come
age.
on, Josh.
Versus
Yeah.
a tragic young death. You know.
Yeah.
It should also be noted, like, just on the subject of Chadwick, when the revelations about how long he'd been sick went out, he was sick during his whole run.
Yeah.
Even Civil War,
Crazy.
he was
He's a-
sick during his
he's a
whole
hero.
run.
He's a hero.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane, and other films, you know, like other shit too that he was
21
doing.
Bridges.
That is
The
like
Bridges,
the
yeah.
that is
Lock
the
it down.
Ma Rainey.
legacy,
Ma
or that's like the
Rainey.
hallmark of a man who understands
Great movie.
his legacy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, just it's incredible to think what he went through, and to do it, you know, in like privately while also being one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's incredible, and like you can't even applaud him enough for
He's amazing.
how he conducted the last years of his life, and that was a real shocker just to
Mhm.
hear that news. It was so sad.
Hey, that hit me hard.
Not to pivot into like a completely different tone of conversation, but before we move on to Loki, I do just have to say the existence of Black Panther and the decision by Marvel and Coogler to put well, I guess the Russos did it with putting Bucky on ice in Wakanda. The post credits of this, where he's White Wolf, gave us one of the best jokes in the MCU, where Sam Wilson's like, "What are you, White Panther?" And then he's like, it's White Wolf. It's one of the best. Like, so good. Love those two together.
Love it.
Yep.
Also-
we're going to see a trailer for Black Panther too next month, probably.
San Diego.
Honestly,
I'm very
it'll
excited for
probably be
January.
sooner than that.
Can
I
I
forgot San
I
Diego's
think
coming out.
San Diego is the trailer, and then D23
That's still
is
in-
the Ant-Man trailer.
can I blend a little bit of 2 and 3?
Sure.
Go back to the 3 conversation, because
yeah.
Infinity War coming right after Black Panther, and when Cap is like, "I know a place," and the drums are coming in, and you're like, "Oh fuck!" Like, it was
Crowd was
so
so
good.
happy.
It's
So
one of the
good.
best one of the best pieces
That's
of
like
sequential.
those drums have
movie
become
release.
such a staple in MCU too.
Mhm.
With like,
Oh, and we
what
get
if uses
the
it so well.
we get the Bruce bowing gag, which is so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
We
But,
don't
like,
do
what are
that
you
here.
doing?
in Falcon and Winter Soldier, those drums come in when the Dora Milaje come in. Like,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
so good.
Florence Kasumba, who's Ao, I think is her name.
Oh, she's good.
Uh,
The main
AKA
one, yeah.
not Okoye, because she was clearly the A one until they cast Denai, and then Denai became the A one.
Yeah.
yeah.
But they committed to her, and they didn't just get rid of her because they got a bigger star.
Yeah.
She's super good. She's very intimidating. And Nikki, to your point about connecting it to the Avengers movies, the fact that the portal scene starts with Black Panther and Shuri
yeah.
Okoye,
Mhm.
that it could have been anyone that
Bombay.
came through first, and they come first, and the chant started. People in the theater started doing the chant. No white people, thankfully. It was it was just a moment, and when T'Challa gives him that very slight nod, like we just won, like that's like it's on, motherfucker. Like I was
Falcon flies
so
right
hyped.
through, and then they all open.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
I also just love the gauntlet hot potato, and when Black Panther gets it, like
Mhm.
And,
so
and
good.
the fact that he
He says
acknowledges
Clint.
Clint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the original Clint thing of the I don't care is so good.
Yeah.
There's great dry humor from Chadwick, because I don't think he's a very naturally funny person. He's not. He's unlike a lot of the other MCU actors that way. Like he didn't really like joke around on the press tour or anything, but everyone around him he's really funny with.
Yeah.
And
The Black Panther
those
press tour
episodes.
is like one of my favorite press tours. It's him, Michael B. Jordan, just like effing around, having so much fun, and the conversations they had.
Did they bring back?
Also, another shout out to Chadwick is Star-Lord T'Challa from What If.
Oh yeah,
So
Yeah.
good.
That was
Oh
great.
man,
that was a fun
I forgot
episode.
about
One
Yeah.
of the best.
that
was so
episode
good.
is so what a great combination of both stories. It really was really
And the way they weave together the Guardians theme with the Wakanda theme too, like the music.
yeah, and also that's just a great look. Like I know they're doing like I was gonna say Black Series. They're doing Marvel Legends and Hot Toys in animated style. I'm like, no, give me the Hot Toys with Chadwick's head. Like I want to
Yeah.
like do it as if it was live action. I want to have that. I will pay the money.
Yeah.
Hot Toys.
Get
I
this
suppose
man
you
a
could
hot
just
toy.
like buy both Hot Toys and then start customizing pieces.
That's probably what it would have to be. Yeah, pop it on.
Let's go to number one.
All right, number one.
I never heard of this one. What's it called again? Falcon and Winter
Falcon
Soldier?
and the Winter Soldier, yes.
Yeah, right.
There we have it.
That's not
Loki.
It
long.
happened,
Yay!
boys and gentlemen.
Great show. One of my favorite shows of last year? Wow.
I like
Fantastic
this
show.
one.
Great. Like this show for me, it elevated.
Nathan hates this show.
I don't hate the
hate it.
show.
But the show is great. But once they
a joke.
introduce Sylvie, that's in the romance between Sylvie and Loki. That's what
Yeah.
sealed the deal for me. Sylvie and
amazing.
Loki's relationship, the dynamic is one of the best scenes I've ever seen in the MCU. Far
It's
enough.
peak sci-fi fantasy blend. And again, like I already said this kind of with Infinity War, but to do a show about this character after his arc is done without the meat and
This
potatoes
character
of that
knowing
arc.
his arc, yeah.
Yeah, but then giving him the knowledge of it, but he still has to change. He has to change in different ways.
It's so
And
smart writing. Such smart
It's
writing.
so smart, and it lets you not bypass, but it's like, how do we get him to the sympathetic place without Dark World, without Ragnarok? And it's like, okay, well, if we show it to him, then he's going to break down faster. Like it's so logical, but emotional, and it uses like all the angles on him, whether it's Sylvie, whether it's Richard E. Grant as classic Loki. Like everybody forms this whole picture, like him and Sylvie being a metaphor for self-love, but also being individuals.
So genius, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's
I
a great show.
love this show when it came out. Then like I was worried about would it age as well. No, I rewatched this last week, and this is still like my favorite MCU project. It's
This is
just-
a real good watch.
it
Like,
feels like it
Natalie
was
Holt.
made.
through and gone.
Natalie
It
Holt's
was made for
score.
me.
Oh,
Like, it has a
Dun,
cool
dun,
ass
dun,
like
dun.
retro sci-fi aesthetic, which like they do.
Oh, yeah.
The production design. is
Owen
incredible in this
Wilson.
show.
We haven't talked
Owen
about
Wilson is so
Owen
good.
Wilson is Mobius.
Jet
is
skis,
incredible.
baby.
Owen Wilson hasn't been this good in years. I mean, he's
I
great
mean,
in
the-
Wonder, but yeah.
Donkey.
Yeah.
All of his little choices are like. I remember seeing the first two of these early, back when I used to be on cool lists, and they sent me the first two, and I remember telling Nikki, "There's shit in the second one," because I think we had just talked about Pompeii, like in a completely different context, like recently, and I was like, "There's something in the second episode of Loki that you're gonna fucking love." And when he's like, "Nothing matters," it doesn't matter at all. It's like it's such good writing. Where would a end of the world? Where would a killer like this hide? Inside of the ends of the world, because
just
they don't
Josh
register. It's like
Genius.
good sci-fi writing.
This sci-fi just feels like it's always one step ahead. Like that's how I felt when I first watched it. Like
Yeah.
the questions that they asked in the previous episode, all meant we did answer the next episode. It's not like this huge mystery that's lasting the whole season. That's what it's about. No, like it's a journey about like Loki trying to find himself and love himself. It's just so well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, the character.
One
Find his glorious purpose, if you will.
that's one thing I wanted to say. I'm always moved so like immensely at Richard E. Grant's glorious purpose. Like it is, he is unbelievable.
Yeah.
As his version of, I forget what they're all called. Is he like classic
Loki.
Classic.
Yeah, like he shocks me every time I rewatch it. Like I'm just like re-amazed by how.
And also
great
like
he is.
the implication that he lived the events of Infinity War.
Yeah, like his story
Yeah.
about what happened to him throughout his
So
entire
interesting.
life is so tragic.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
He just hid, and like when
Yeah.
they finally found him, once he like realized, oh, he misses his brother.
Ooh,
Mhm.
God.
It's so powerful, and the Sylvie stuff too. And I wrote a piece about this that I was fascinated because Loki goes on his own hero's journey here, but the challenge for his character and the reason why I love this show so much is because to do the right thing from a certain point of view, and Obi-Wan terms, he would have to negate his own hero's journey. So he has the redemption, and in very classic terms, he gets the girl, he gains the magical sword, they storm the castle. It's all of these things that feel like he's finally the guy out of the shadow of Thor with no one around him. Like he's not hurting people around him. He's making friendships. He's making relationships.
He's got a cool tie.
He's got a cool tie. Everything's going right. And then you get inside of that castle and you do the storming and you find the bad guy.
Motherfucking Jonathan Majors.
And if you kill him, then that makes you, or at least makes him feel like a hypocrite, because you get to the end and Sylvie's like, okay, let's take him and we take control. But he's just gone through this whole journey where he's like,
he doesn't need that.
I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to take over the TVA.
It's
I'm not
such
trying
good
to.
writing.
I don't want a throne anymore. But then to do the right thing, you would have to take a throne. But in not doing it, you screw over the person you just fell in love with.
And the beauty of it is that Sylvie hasn't gotten there yet. Like she's still struggling within herself. She's still struggling because her backstory in I think the previous episode was just so powerful, and she's like dragged out as a little kid.
And what's
so
beautiful
terrified.
about it, and maybe they'll answer it going forward, but I love that they didn't. When she talks to Renslayer, and she's great too. And it's like, why?
Vukum Bathura,
yeah. Like, why was I
Amazing
wrong?
actress.
Like, why did I have to be? I forget what they scrubbed or what is it called? Pruned. Like, why did I have to be pruned? Why did I get arrested?
She can't say anything,
and she's like, doesn't even really remember.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, was it because she was a girl and Loki's normally not? Was it because of something she did as a kid? Like, what could a child have done? And it just makes it all seem so ruthless and awful.
Sylvie is one of the best creations that the Marvel has ever done.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll raise
Sophia
this.
DiMartino is like.
He's gonna review his options.
Nathan did.
I think we should like do a rewatch on like Micah Batia or something, because I think this. It just Sylvie really moves me when there's an episode, the penultimate episode, when her and Loki are like sitting on the hill and they share that blanket together. It's just so moving and touching. But then, especially their final scene in the finale, people like to complain about the finale. It's all talking, but for me,
I love the finale because it's all talking.
I love the
they
finale.
bring in Jonathan Majors to be this presence, and it's like so.
He's such a powerful
unique.
presence.
And the brilliant thing about it, it's similar to what Strange New Worlds just did. I don't know if Nikki and I are the only ones that watch it. Nikki, you got to get everyone else
only
here
ones
on
with
Strange
taste.
New Worlds life.
I need to.
Strange New Worlds, light spoilers, introduced Captain Kirk, but they didn't actually. They introduced a Captain Kirk. And what's really smart about it with He Who Remains is that it's like them saying, this is the actor who's playing Kang. Look at how great he is. Look at how awesome this actor is. But you haven't even seen why we cast him yet.
He's more cool. Yeah.
It's just
even that episode is already one of my favorite MCU performances. Like Jonathan Majors.
Easily.
That's what's cool about it. He was able to be whatever he wanted to be.
Exactly.
Like and make that a real like actor choice heavy role.
Yes. And it's like, know that he's going to be in Ant-Man and the Lost Quantumania.
Maybe probably season 2 of this.
But do we know that he's going to be the guy, or is he going to be one of the guys? And now with Krasinski Reed, if they choose to pursue that, Krasinski Reed and Kang and Reed are
grandson.
relatives. Like he's an ancestor. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an
Um,
so it's
He reminds me a lot of Benicio del Toro character in Usual Suspects, who
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Know
is
that.
given that role exists to be the first one to die.
Yeah.
Like that's it. So when Benicio got the part and they're doing it, they're just like, just do whatever. Like it literally doesn't matter because you're only here to die. So just make whatever choices you want and
He's
just go
like-
nuts.
Sidebar,
And
Benicio in that
loses
movie is like
charisma.
one of my favorite roles ever. I
He's
love
so
Benicio
good.
in that.
Benicio
and
making choices is an ongoing theme, and he should never stop.
Right.
DJ in the Last
That's what
Jedi,
reminded
underrated.
me. That's what that Jonathan Majors, performance reminded me of. It's like, you're gonna get off. You're not the real version of what we expect to bring you into. So just go nuts. Go have
Yeah,
fun. Go
when
make
he
choices.
says like if you kill me, just wait until you see my other copies. Like
Yeah.
the horror of the unknown is just so inviting.
The way it's all done too,
Yeah.
the moment where I actually don't know what's happening next now. Like
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
so good.
But I
We
love the
just
decision.
crossed the threshold.
Oh
Yeah.
beautiful. I love the decision for Sylvie to still like go with it. Like she doesn't like. Part of me really wanted, of course, for Sylvie and Loki to get together.
We
in
get the kiss
end,
though.
and
We get the
yay.
kiss.
We get the kiss, which I was like, yeah. But then
But at what cost?
having Sylvie be the one to go through with it and kill He Who Remains is perfect. It reminds me of Zuko in Crossroads of Destiny and Avatar, where it's like where he makes his choice. He makes his choice, and it's right for him in that moment because of what he has experienced in his past.
And again, it's like
so
she is not in terms of the mythology and what they have found out wrong.
Yes.
They do need to defeat him.
Yes,
But what
the
what
repercussions.
Loki is struggling with again is so personal of like shit to do the right thing, I have to be the thing I just grew out of being. And I have to take control and with her or just her, and it raises all these questions, but she's not wanting to answer any of them. She's rushing because she's entirely driven by vengeance. And Loki's lived an entire life of vengeance. He's wanted revenge on Thor for being the favored son, revenge on Odin for having a favorite son, revenge on everybody except his mother.
It's vengeance and sadness because when she pushes Loki into the portal and she's just sitting there alone again, I'm just like, oh my god, it's just so emotional.
And it's fascinating to
Yeah.
think that the events of No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, somewhere out there is a Sylvie who's in charge, having something to do with what's going on, or at least keeping an eye.
Maybe like what is Sylvie doing right now? What does she want to do? Like now that you achieved what you wanted, Sylvie,
We'll
you got
see
your
in season
revenge.
2.
What do
And
you-
that's the
do you
thing, is
want-
that, like,
do you
with
want
her,
control? What do you want?
I almost want Sylvie, and again, I don't want to deal in wants, like whatever they do, we'll judge it for what they do. But
yeah.
if I was given season 2, I would make her the lead, and it would be Godfather
Yes.
2.
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
Wow.
like
Yes.
now what? Kind of like later Breaking Bad. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Make
so
Loki
cool.
the supporting character.
yeah, like what's going on now? And
That'd be ballsy, but yeah.
Again,
Well,
That
she is
was
a
it.
Loki, right? But
no,
yeah.
and it's
I
not
was-
Kate Herron directing, which is interesting.
It's still Waldron writing though.
Is it still
I think,
Waldron?
right?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so.
I don't know. I don't
Right?
think I'm not doubting you, but I think I
It's
read something.
Benson and Moorhead from Moon Knight directing, which is good.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Their
that's-
episodes are my favorites. And
Oh, that's gonna be great.
Number 10,
Loki
so it should
season
be
2,
great.
because I think that Waldron moved on because of Star Wars, and they got a different.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
I
While
think we
we're
got the
talking
Black
about-
Widow writer for this one.
Eric
Episode.
Martin is writing it.
Eric Martin's writing him. Yeah,
Who's that?
Eric
What has he
Martin?
done?
I think he was on the first season.
Okay.
Yeah,
While
he-
we're talking
Jeffrey.
about good writing, I
Better Call
haven't seen this with like any other show. Before the first episode aired, Michael Waldron did this super classy thing where, as the head writer, he tweeted a thread celebrating each of the other writers on staff.
Staff writers.
And he was
Oh, I
like,
remember that.
he's like, this is this person. They're great at this and this, and they made
all their
this better."
strengths. And
Yeah,
everything.
and
yeah,
I like
That's cool.
as a writer, I thought that was such a beautifully awesome thing.
but Nikki,
as-
he's an asshole because he didn't follow WandaVision.
I know. Oh god damn it. But it was so classy to
Yeah.
give your team that love because writers never get the love.
It's so true.
and it's like, it was really cool to see that, and I don't see that enough in a
And
lot of these
for-
shows.
So
For more about the
Martin,
technical Are you do it, Alden?
I was gonna say Eric Martin, who's now the head writer, wrote episode 4, the Nexus event, where their love finally blossoms.
Good.
And then he co-wrote with Waldron the finale.
Okay, we're in
So
good hands.
He fucking gets. Yeah.
He
And also,
should be
quick
fine.
note: Bisha K. Ali, the Ms. Marvel showrunner, wrote episode 3, Lamentus.
Oh,
Nice.
Ooh.
So I should have
That's
known.
the trapped one, right?
Right.
Where they're like trapped on the.
Lamentus is the whole planet
Thing.
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of like more on the technical aspects of Loki, it's just like everything is just knocked out of the park. Like the set design is gorgeous. It's some of the best cinematography we've seen in the MCU, probably the best. Like everything, it's just so colorful and
The
so
way they
colorful.
turned that Atlanta hotel into
It looks so
this,
cool.
place out of time.
And
it's
how
so-
have we
it's
not
really
talked about Natalie fucking Holt? Like her store is
Greatest use of a
one of the
theremin
best
since the
superhero
Beastie-
stores
or
ever.
since the Beach
The
Boys.
theremin,
Not
yes.
the Beastie
like,
Boys. The Beach Boys.
huh.
The Beach Boys.
theremin. Like, it's
I
so
really wanted some theremin in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
yeah, I was missing
I'm
that.
really sad that they didn't go there. I get why,
It's
but
good vibrations and then the Loki score. There's nothing else in between as far as
that's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah, like I've never, not since like Ocarina of Time has something made me want to get a specific instrument.
Yeah.
And this shit, like legit, and I do have an ocarina. Never learned to play it. It just sits in my
Yet.
closet. But yet,
I just
but
had
this
Ocarina
shit
of
made
Time
me
in my
want to
head.
be like, I'm ordering a theremin and just sit at my desk all day doing shit. But yeah, and the set design, costume, everything. That's hot.
That's
Oh,
Amazing.
oh,
it's
Amazing.
so good. It's so good, and I just, yeah.
The
Shout
show
out
is
to
perfection.
Pillboy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got all the Infinity
Stones
Stones.
in his
Star Wars, Marvel.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that shit
Star
was
Trek.
awesome.
Star Trek. He's in Lord X.
Is it? Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
okay.
My man.
Yeah, I thought that the whole conceit of the TVA was brilliant. I love that it was a
Edgar, this is your
subversion.
number one also. What do you think?
Wait, what?
This is Edgar's number one also.
Oh, is it? Wow. Yeah,
I'm
everybody
probably
has
the one to
number
blame. Well, one of the things that I really love about this show, the way that it leads to season 2, is that Loki goes through this entire arc of loving himself and building these relationships, and it ends with him like back like to like square one because nobody
Yeah.
recognizes who he is.
Yeah.
That's
gonna
such a
be
ballsy
great-
ending.
It's
Yeah,
a
so that's
great
gonna
ending.
be-
It's a scary
yeah.
ending.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's
It
gonna
was so smart too, like sort of like Last Jedi, where like you pick up on all the clues about Luke after that Mobius's tie was undone in the ending, and his hair was all disheveled, and now he's fixed up. You don't even notice because you're so excited to see them together
Yeah,
again.
it's so frantic. Yeah. Man. Yeah, season 2 is set up to
Oh.
be very interesting.
Oh, the Hunter, is it B-17?
Oh, she's great.
What a
Uh,
great character!
She's in Lovecraft Country too, and she was amazing.
Her
Yeah.
whole origin,
He's amazing on Lovecraft.
her backstory where she finds out that she's been controlled, and oh my
Yeah.
god,
She was
great,
crying in the rain.
to
great
Right?
character.
Tears in the
Great
rain.
stuff.
Tears in the rain. Yeah.
Tears in Rain, man.
Boastful Loki, like Kid Loki, all the different Lokis.
Alligator Loki.
Alligator
Loki.
Loki.
President Loki. President
Huh.
Loki was great.
What did you
let's
expect?
not forget Miss Minutes.
Miss
Minutes.
Minutes.
The Miss Minutes
Strong.
jump scare.
scare.
Oh,
That shit got me. Hello. Someone needs to put it.
Yes,
voice
we need the
over
supercut.
we
We
need
need
it.
the supercut.
Make it
Hi
read
there. Hello. Just back and forth.
Goodbye.
Nathan, get to it.
Oh, I'm too tired.
Yeah, no, Loki fucking rocked. Loki was actually also the first MCU Disney Plus show where I legitimately could not wait, like
Yeah.
week to week. I was like, I don't think I really midnighted the other two. I
I felt that was
kinda caught
WandaVision.
them.
But I'm a WandaVision stan. I know that's in the minority, I guess.
Hey now.
I like
I'm
one of
your
those.
dog.
WandaVision's great. It's just Loki for me was like when it really kicked in for me. I was so hyped.
Yeah.
Let's go through our
All
list.
right. So
Yeah.
through personal lists,
Oh boy, people can make fun.
starting with Nathan because he's tired.
I'm
He's an
falling.
asshole.
I'm falling out of reality.
No Way Home, of course. Doctor Strange, top 5. 2 Doctor Strange.
This is chaos magic, Wanda.
Eternals number 8. I respect the fuck out of that.
Yeah,
Over Black
absolutely.
Panther, you're wrong.
I've
but
got
okay.
Eternals high on mine too.
Nice.
I need to rewatch Eternals. I haven't seen it since it came out.
The what if idea was really funny.
Nathan, I blame you for Shang-Chi as well. It's okay.
Hey, it's up
Loki
there.
at number 19. I don't get it.
Out of how many? 40?
Yeah, but like,
Oh, also, Josh, do you have like the other honorable mentions?
what do you mean?
Like the 11 and 12
It's not
I would-
fucking Shang-Chi,
that
man.
were just barely.
I just pulled it up.
I need you guys are crazy for this.
He needs closure.
I need closure. I need to go full circle on this.
Was it even
My number
close?
12.
If for you,
You know
as
what?
a number
Whoa,
You know what my
Ant-Man,
favorite-
Too low.
I say this as someone who likes Shang-Chi, but
Shang-
my favorite thing about seeing it
Oh.
was I got to see The Village Bride after it
Oh.
I still hate you for that.
at El Capitan.
I will
That
say
was-
Shang-Chi is one of those ones where it hasn't been around long enough to like have a Dark Knight. Like, is it
That's
really
how the
that
points
good?
work
But
out.
I do have a like
3,
Sitting
I've
at number
watched Shang-Chi
5
twice, and I
points.
remember it.
7.
5 points.
How do you make points?
So Iron Man 3 is above Shang-Chi
Yes, let's
as
go.
it should be.
Yeah,
and
Points
Doctor
word for the show
Strange
once again.
You
I
chose the
dove that
whitewash
through
man.
everyone's
and
list.
Ragnarok.
You know, through everyone's list.
Nice.
If it got number 1, I give it 10 points, and so on.
Guys, what happened? We lost.
So yeah, Loki ran away with it.
The work is done.
Homecoming coming in fucking low.
I'm surprised by that.
Homecoming
I really love
is.
Homecoming.
Homecoming's a
I'm
great
not
film.
like enamored with Homecoming.
I really like it.
It's a movie.
It is a movie.
Hawkeye only having 2 points is fucking criminal.
How do you mean
It is.
You pieces of shit. Hawkeye is so wonderful.
Hawkeye's fun.
Hawk mid.
Christmas, baby.
Hawk mid. Just change any syllable.
Mid eye.
Mid-eye.
Man, that's crazy.
Queer eye for
Mid-turnals.
Maybe we should do that other list that Auden mentioned so we can change. So we
That'd
can
be
have
really
Shang-Chi
cool. I'm gonna do that.
in the top.
Why hasn't anyone done multiverse of midness?
Oh, they
That's-
have.
that's-
and
oh,
I'm-
yeah.
Yeah.
All
Preston
right.
is right. Preston is right.
Breast.
Lucky offensive.
Is he?
Incredible Hulk last is the only correct.
You have
option.
Far Remote and Homecoming
Oh, I
this
thought this
low.
was Preston's list for some reason. I was
It
You
is
have
Preston.
Homecoming
Oh, it's Nathan's
this
list. Or...
low?
You have Black
Nathan.
Widow at 32.
yeah, okay, in fairness, like my lowest,
Hammond lost at 30.
You have Thor: The Dark World over Black Widow.
my lowest film is fucking at least 3
Yeah,
stars.
yeah.
I
I'm
love
just kidding. I'm
everything.
just kidding.
Mine
Yeah.
too, but still.
This is good. I like it. I like it.
Love
overall.
and Thunder is 22. That's pretty.
Who am I to talk? My list is chaos.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Let's
I think
get to it real quick.
Love and
man.
Thunder might be
Okay.
number 20.
What if it's so high because of that damn Doctor Strange episode I adore so much?
Yeah.
No, no, Strange
Alright,
episode's
if you
brilliant.
need to
What if
leave,
has a
Nathan,
few that are? What if has
feel
some
free
where
to
I'm
go.
like I could take or leave, like zombies, but then Star-Lord, T'Challa, Doctor Strange.
I like the mystery episode. What if with the
With
Hank
Fury.
Pym
I love that
evil guy.
too. Yeah.
That Evil Hank Pym was a
like
great twist.
That was a fun like mystery. I had no idea what was going on.
Because that one did a whole phase. It did all of phase 1
Yeah,
as
and then
as a
when,
setting instead of just.
Hawkeye shot and killed it because Hank Pym fired the arrow. And
That was
killed
so
Thor.
fucking gruesome how they killed Hulk.
That
Oh
was
my
good.
god.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Yeah, Hawk
Enlarged his
exploded.
heart.
It also was cool on the novelty level of seeing Ruffalo copied and pasted into Incredible Hulk.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have the show? You don't have the shows on your letterbox list on Alden.
No, just in the pictures I sent you.
Okay, I'll bring it up then.
As you should.
Because I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
sully my letterboxed with your nonsense.
Solly Tom Hanks. What?
So yeah, so I wasn't
all
gonna
the
sully
same
it.
thing.
It's not the same.
It's
Son of a
all the
bitch.
same. It's like Dave Filoni says. It's all Star Wars.
That's
Exactly.
past one.
Okay, don't use him.
Okay,
again.
yeah.
I
Got
got you.
Don't say things like that. All right, stop.
I use logically.
You stop it right now. Add a line.
Hey, stop it.
While we're waiting, I saw Scarface yesterday at home.
For the first time?
No, just again. It was
Oh, okay.
Just for
I
just for
love
giggles.
me some Scarface.
Scarface
Okay.
is not one that I go back to a lot, but Michael Cipino.
Al fucking Pacino.
Al fucking Pacino is
That
great.
bathtub scene, brutal.
Mm.
And I watched Collateral last week.
If you need to leave, Nathan, you can go if you want.
It is past the bedtime.
'Cause you're falling asleep.
My soul is hurt because I don't want to leave the friends. But yes, it's past 1 a.m.
It is, man. I gotta go too soon. What are you
I'm
waiting
do
on?
yours next.
I'll catch the end of this stream. But yeah, this is fun.
Thanks for
Yeah.
being here. Oh,
Go to youtube.com/Nathan Rojas.
exactly. We'll be live tomorrow.
Do it.
Noise.
Watch Miss Marvel. Hurry up
Okay,
before you go to bed. Yeah.
I yield my time. Goodbye.
Fuck you. See you later, man.
See ya. Now we
Who's
have
this?
Evan's list.
This is my list where Shang-Chi is in the top 10, motherfuckers.
Finally.
You guys are wrong.
Shang-Chi's better than Winter Soldier. You can knock that down.
Yeah, I didn't know where to put Shang-Chi and Winter Soldier. I didn't know. I was like, but yeah, I didn't realize how much I liked Captain America: The First Avenger. As well.
Everyone has Love and Thunder in the same range, except for Alden.
Yeah, I like Love and Thunder. I'm gonna see it again
Double.
tomorrow too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I realized how much I
pretty
did not
solid.
like Age of Ultron or Ant-Man and the Wasp. I need to rewatch those too.
You really need to.
I put Iron Man as Iron Man 2 third to last because of the dance alone from what's the name?
Justin Hammer.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. Yeah, exactly. Woo, thank you.
I hate having Falcon and Winter Soldier low. I do too, because
Yeah.
It's
it
just
has
so hard.
has so much greatness going on, but it's just that the other shows are better.
I agree.
Like, I can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like what's weak about Falcon and Winter Soldier stands out as being weak,
Mm-hmm.
but what's great about it is so great.
And
If they just
I-
didn't kill off Charlie for me, like that's
And
is her
I-
name Charlie?
yeah,
For me, it's that John Walker is way too easily forgiven in the last one. Like, obviously, his story is going to go
definitely,
on,
yeah.
but he shows up and
in the
saves
story
a
alone.
truck
Yeah,
full of people, and then Bucky and him are like having a joke.
it's weird.
Like,
And
that was
I
one of
like-
the only times where I felt the jokes undercut.
And I like Captain Marvel a lot. It's just that compared to the other movies too.
Same here. It's just it
Yeah,
just
stuff
happens
just gets
to-
pushed down. 'Cause it got-
Exactly. Yeah.
There aren't many, if any, like real duds.
100%.
Like most of them are, at worst, fine.
fine.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
I agree. 100%.
that's how I feel about Incredible Hulk. Like, if someone's like,
Yeah.
"Can we watch this?" I'm not gonna say no.
It's a fun watch.
That's just because
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one, so I always think of the Dark World.
When he jumps out of the
Like-
helicopter,
Yeah.
it's so cool. I remember seeing Incredible Hulk in theaters too. That was a good watch in theaters. Saw that in St. Louis.
All right, so now we have Edgar's list.
Edgar, look how wrong he is. Okay.
Hey,
1 and 2, same as here. Yeah, we have Edgar and I has a similar top 10. Guardians in there, which is really
Iron Man
good.
3 being that high. That's cool. Doctor
Iron Man
Strange
3
being
is
that
good.
high.
Doctor Strange. Yeah,
Let me-
I like that.
let me just say something about
Ant-Man over Multiverse of Madness.
It pisses me off that they never reuse Tony's theme from Iron Man 3 going forward
It's
because
great.
it's so
Yeah.
fucking good.
I forget that thing. Spider-Man, First Avenger, I love it. Oh, First Avenger under Age of Ultron. That's a discussion for another
Ant-Man and
time.
Wasp being over Moon Knight is interesting, given that I love that movie. But still interesting.
Far
though.
From
Love
Home.
and Thunder being that low. Hawkeye being that low.
Hey,
Ah.
need a rewatch.
I mean, Haley Steinfeld alone gives it like 20
Yeah,
points.
above like Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, geez, why you calling that kind of Marvel? Damn.
I love Brie Larson, but like that
No, she's
movie is
women,
like
confirmed.
so mediocre.
I had a great time watching Captain Marvel when I first watched it. I haven't
I think
watched it.
it's a fun watch. Yeah.
Jude Law's great too.
Captain
Um,
Marvel is a better first movie than Iron Man.
I love that.
Maybe.
Okay, Auden, you can just
That's true.
Josh, mute.
Anything else?
Silence him.
Mute me.
WandaVision being low. That low is kind of surprising.
That low.
Not
21's
surprising
fine.
for you, but
21's decent. 21, like everything. Yeah, everything in this range is solid. Avengers, great. Ragnarok, a little bit low for Ragnarok, but okay. Good list, Edgar. I like it. Kind of. Moving on.
all right.
Vibing.
Shit.
This is my jam. I go to sleep with this song, man. I don't. But
Who's
Dreamwalker.
next? Who's next? Let's
who
do
is
mine
this?
next.
Auden? Or no, this is Edgar. So
This is still Sweet Edgar's.
you lied to me. Why would you show it to me? What do you show?
Let's do mine next.
So Nikki, how's you like that Star Trek? So is it good just watch going in blind? Like I watched like the recent movies. Is this new Star Trek show just like
It's not.
good?
You mean like the JJ ones?
Yeah, like is the new Star Trek show like tied to anything? It's just like
It's tied to like Discovery and
Okay.
the original series.
Discovery the original series.
I don't think.
So should I watch?
I think you
Discovery
could get
first, or-
away. You could get away with not.
Okay.
But it is like inherently linked.
Okay.
And like a big part of one of the like the main characters like arc is built out of Discovery.
Discovery. How do you guys like Discovery?
only saw
I
the
think-
first two.
I think it's pretty good.
recapped the other ones.
I think it's pretty good, but like Strange New Worlds is without a doubt the top, and then Lower Decks is better than Discovery, I think.
Okay.
But I still think it's good.
Yeah, I need to watch all the Star Trek stuff on Paramount Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Got to make use of my Paramount
All right.
Plus. Okay,
Here's
who's this?
mine. This is
Josh.
mine.
Endgame, No Way Home.
This is probably
Multiverse of
surprising for you
Madness.
guys.
No.
WandaVision at
WandaVision's
5.
good. I like
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Yeah, I love WandaVision. It's so creative still.
Yeah.
And a lot of people ride on the finale, but I like the finale.
No problem.
I like the emotional core of the finale. It does a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah. It's like a typical
I love
MCU, but also not
Hawkeye,
typical MCU. 12.
Eternals.
Yeah. Thor Ragnarok was also in my 11, 12 range, I think, for me. Or maybe it was in my top 10. I'm not sure. But Eternals, yes. Oh, Eternals over first Guardians. Interesting. Eternals over Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Or
Now here's where it gets controversial. At least I think so.
Where?
what?
Oh, Iron Man. 31 for Iron Man. Yeah, that is crazy. Under
First
Age of
Avengers
Ultron.
is not my favorite.
I like the first Avengers. I think it hits.
Age of Ultron is so underrated. My God,
It's
Yeah.
not good, Auden. It's not
everybody
good.
being so
It is
mean to it. It's so.
Yeah,
good.
but Love and Thunder is like it's probably the same. Like
I will
the
bully Age of
mid-20s.
Ultron any day of the week.
Age of Ultron's great.
That
I
first
love James
trailer,
Spader. That first trailer for Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Oh
Woo!
yeah, that hits hard.
There are no
Strings
strings on me. Yeah, that was great.
2015 was a great year for trailers. Force Awakens, Age of Ultron.
All right.
Like I remember watching that Age of Ultron trailer. Like I'm gonna see this movie 10 times. End up seeing it like twice.
You're pulling Nathan.
Yeah. I didn't do that for The Force Awakens. I saw it like 12 times. I was seeing The Force Awakens like in March. Like it was great.
Oh man, that'd be a great like thought exercise. When was the last viewing? I feel like I just packed in real fast.
Because I remember seeing The Force Awakens before I saw Batman versus Superman.
Oh yeah.
I saw it 3 times before.
Wow,
it
what a
released in
fucking
the
come
US.
down! What a buzzkill!
I know.
Force Awakens to BVS. What a horrible, deflating experience.
Wait,
So
it's
I-
still in theaters for you in March?
Oh yeah, because I got to the AMC early, and this one didn't do reserved seating, so I was just like, chilling. I was like, you know what? Let me go watch a bit of Force Awakens. So I saw like from Takodana on, and then I went to go see BVS, and I saw Superman bleed. It was really cool. Yeah,
All right. Here's Nikki's.
Nikki, Black Panther #1. Hey, Shang-Chi number
Loki a bit too
15.
low for my taste.
Oh my gosh, he's in your top 10.
for your Cuban taste.
Yeah, a
Looks
lot of
good.
Nikki's list is on this list. I like that. Multiverse of
Yeah.
Madness, Guardians, Doctor Strange, Moon Knight. I
I
believe
mean,
you
Nikki and I won for sure.
I see that. I see. Yes. Okay.
I feel good. Yeah.
Eternals.
Marvel.
I like how you have Eternals high up too. I agree. Miss Marvel right now
Marvel
would be.
over Miss Marvel.
It's hard to place because I'm not done.
Yeah,
but
not done.
I
I
Miss
just
Marvel.
kind of like stuck it somewhere.
Miss Marvel would be
Um,
like number 8 or 7. for me.
Homecoming that low.
Ant-Man
I
hatred.
Look,
Hatred.
Wow,
okay, here's the
interesting.
thing. Here's the thing because No Way Home obviously is not in my top 10. Spider-Man was just never my thing.
Okay.
I have no I didn't have nostalgia for any
Well,
of the other
okay,
movies. So like I wasn't as excited. Like I wasn't like losing my mind. Like it was great.
Did Peter Parker
but
beat you up as a kid, Nikki?
it was good. It's just good. It's just I just never got into Spider-Man.
Far From Home that much better than Homecoming.
Okay, so Far From Home is one of my favorites because
Wow.
Yeah.
I went to Europe in high school
Mm.
and two of my friends fell in love on the plane there, and we're out of love by the plane back. And when I saw that in the movie, I was like, I instantly love this.
That's amazing. That's
and then of course, yeah, I love the guy Jake Gyllenhaal who doesn't shower. I think he's great.
He's great in Mysterio.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Jake Gyllenhaal, best living actor of all time.
Ambulance,
Alright.
baby.
I mean,
Gonna get you home, brother. Jake Gyllenhaal, legend.
We're not the bad guys.
I love Jake. What's Jake's next project? Oh, Strange New Worlds.
Strange World, yeah.
Stranger Worlds.
Stranger Things, Worlds.
Stranger.
Jake
New-
Gyllenhaal.
Stranger
New
New Things.
Look at this
List.
immaculate correct list.
Guardians #1, wrong. Loki, like that. Captain America: Civil War. Thank you, Audit.
Black Panther 10 places too low.
Iron Man 3. Wow.
That's
Yeah.
what shows. Which shows. This is not the right list.
Hawkeye above Black Panther. Interesting.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Thank you, Audit. Number 11. Thank you, Audit.
Again, it's higher on my letterbox.
I can't wait to show Jalen that movie tomorrow.
Eternals is top 10 on my letterbox.
I can't find Eternals.
It's
How many
13
shows do you have in the top 10?
13.
You have 3 shows?
3 shows.
Black
How
Panther.
dare you ask me that? You made me do it.
Iron Man 2 over Iron Man 1. You really do like the bird. Okay.
Yep. Love to see it.
Okay. We really carried Iron Man
Did
1.
I have 2 over 1? I can't remember now.
I want to point everybody to 29 and 30.
Okay. And then the Wasp. Falcon Winter Soldier.
Interesting.
Now
Winter
go
Soldier
down
that
to
low is a crime.
Winter Soldier at 27.
Jesus Christ. We really carried Winter Soldier and Iron Man onto our list because
Oh,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
I forgot What If.
had it really low.
It doesn't
Yeah,
really
well.
matter.
I helped go hard for that Guardians 2 placement. Thank God for
You
me.
guys did. God damn it.
All right, so what I would do usually for these top 10s to end it is talk about the future. What are we most
Well,
excited for?
We did a
Blade.
In
whole
this one.
conversation.
Oh,
we did a whole
this is
conversation on Wakanda Forever, so that's complicated.
Give me Blade.
Hey, Wakanda Forever used to be my favorite, or most anticipated of all time. But now
I
I'm
bring
just
up
like,
Wikipedia, which is probably like stacked. Probably.
I'm with
So-
Nikki. Blade.
For me, it was Guardians 3. It's probably gonna be my most anticipated. But then James Gunn casually mentioned that the holiday special will have its own awesome mix, which means
Yeah.
that we're gonna get 2 more soundtracks out of them.
Hell yeah.
So now I'm gonna say the holiday special.
Great pick. Blade.
As the Ant-Man and the Wasp stan, I am very excited for Quantumania.
Oh, Catherine Newton. Woo! Can't wait.
And Jonathan Majors back.
Jonathan Majors. How is Jonathan Majors going to fight Ant-Man? Like, Jonathan Majors just smoke Ant-Man, but we'll see.
Well, he's
After
like a
watching-
professor in this one, though, I think.
Jonathan
Right.
Majors?
I think so.
Where'd you
I
get
think
that
he's
from?
actually Kang. He's like. Did they say that? They used to be like the
He's
professor
Kang!
version.
What's the professor version of Kang?
Isn't there like his actual name? Does he have a.
Richards?
Yeah.
It's Nathaniel.
Nathaniel Richards is still very strong, though.
Well, I'm saying, like, will he be that instead of Kang the Contract?
Oh, I don't think so.
I mean, it could be multiple things. Who knows?
It could be, yeah, we could see more than one. But after watching Miss Marvel, the Marvels now, Brie Larson.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good
yeah.
point. That's a real good point.
Yeah.
I just
Needed
I love Iman. Iman's like in terms of like Phase 4 new additions. There's Sylvie, Florence Pugh, Haley Steinfeld, but Iman, woo!
She's
I
fantastic.
cannot-
That whole
can't wait to see
family,
her.
and the whole family is going to be in the Marvels.
Really?
They are?
Her mom, dad, and brother are all going to be in it,
Awesome.
which
Are
is
you, is
fucking
this
great.
confirmation?
I didn't confirm it. That's not a scoop. I just read it somewhere.
I didn't hear about that. That's cool. Yeah, I love them. Give me Miss Marvel season 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Honestly, I think what people are sleeping on is kind of Secret Invasion. Like, that cast is stacked.
Yeah.
I have to wait and see
Amelia
that
Clark,
one.
Olivia Colman.
There's so much shit coming out that like everyone's sleeping on everything. Like
Yeah.
honestly, it's
And
like
Force Stick.
when you think about how much stuff is gonna come out, it's like there are things probably in the pipeline that they've announced that I don't even know about, and it's
yeah,
public
definitely.
knowledge. Like I just don't know because it's
Armor Wars,
been-
like, I just want
yeah,
Justin
Rhodey.
Hammer. I
yeah.
want Justin Hammer
Armor
versus
Wars.
Sharon Carter.
I totally forgot about
Give me
Armor
that.
Wars.
We don't need Sharon Carter.
Shut up.
She's
I almost-
terrible.
I almost forgot that there's this, I guess, show or Halloween special that Michael Giacchino is directing.
Yeah, Werewolf by
Oh,
Night.
yeah, the Wolfman.
Werewolf
Not
special.
Wolfman, but
Yeah.
Probably did that officially announced at Comic-Con.
Werewolf by Night. Yeah,
Werewolf.
they haven't said it's Werewolf by Night, but come on. And
They've
it's
already shot it.
We could see
Gail
Moon Knight.
Garcia Bernal.
We could see Moon Knight. We could see Blade in there. Maybe I don't know. That should
Yeah,
be-
after that Eternals post-credit scene, which is probably my favorite MCU post-credit scene now.
Yeah.
With
Mr.
Kit
Whitman.
Harington and Blade.
Mr. Whitman.
I am so ready for that. And that was one also where
Jeffrey
I think-
Wright.
at that like announcement fest, I think the ones that I was like most excited for was Multiverse of Madness and Blade. We got one down, and it was a banger.
It was a movie.
And I'm very excited for Blade.
Then we have just got a director announced for Captain America 4.
Julius Ona.
Director
Yeah,
of Loose, right?
What about
Luce is
that?
great.
What about that article that was like, but who's gonna be Captain America?
Oh, fuck Hollywood.
We don't talk about that.
So fucking stupid.
That writer really fucked up.
It's like, tell me you don't actually watch or pay attention to this stuff, but you somehow
don't.
write about it.
They don't care. Yeah.
Then the animated stuff too, like Edsman. That's been one.
1997, which is continuing the storyline.
Is there
from-
more What If?
Yes.
What is
Yeah,
season 2 this year? This year.
With an episode that was supposed to be in season 1 that got
Iron
cut due
Man
to
one.
COVID.
Yeah.
The,
Wow.
Yeah.
No plan.
The
No plan.
Gamora one? The Gamora one? Or-
The Gamora
The
Thanos
Tony
one.
Stark on
Yeah.
wasn't Tony Stark on
It's
No
Tony
way.
Stark in a big ass armor with
the
Gamora.
planet from Thor Ragnarok.
Sakaar.
That's the planet.
Sakaar, yeah.
Sakaar, yeah.
So that's
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
that's a new one. I'm assuming they'll follow up Carter as like the main through line because that's a
Stark.
cliffhanger from the end of what's going on
Stark.
with Steve.
We have Spider-Man freshman year,
Freshman
which
year.
is really interesting.
I've totally forgot about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Marvel's.
But wait, at Comic-Con, animation did its whole like their own panel. It's like longer
coming
than
up,
the
right?
actual Hall H one.
That's July
Real
20
soon.
something, right? 26.
Yeah.
25th?
The
Are they doing
Adifus
a whole-
series.
Marvel
What?
Zombies.
Marvel Zombies.
Zombies.
Agatha, yeah.
The Wakanda
The
series. Whenever that
Avengers
Echo.
was supposed to be.
Video game?
Echo's gonna
Echo
continue on the
Daredevil.
Daredevil
back.
Kingpin, all of that.
in the Wars of
back!
Suits. He's back.
How many years worth of shows is all this?
Probably like 2.
2024. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot. I dare to say this Marvel Cinematic Universe thing is
Deadpool 3.
thriving.
That's happening.
Never heard of it. Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited for that. Yeah,
Pick
this is a
one
fun-
project, one show, one movie. What's your most interested?
Fuck. Movie, Miss Marvel's. Show, Loki season 2.
Movie Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Show. I will say Echo.
Hmm.
Movie Blade, show Armor Wars.
I'll go.
Yeah,
with-
to be clear, if Rockwell's announced for Armor Wars, it goes straight
Yeah,
to the top.
yeah.
Oh, Rhodey's enough for me. Rhodey's my main.
Edgar.
Oh, movie Blade show. I'll go with Secret Wars, with Secret Invasion, just because
Secret
of
Invasion.
Emilia Clarke Stan, get out of here.
I've heard a couple things about that show. Not plot, but like that it's like going well, that they really, really, really care about her character.
Who's running that? Do we
I
know?
forget who's running it, but I know a writer that was brought onto it.
It's me.
I don't know her personally.
It's
but
Joby Harold, right?
It's exciting. It is Joby Harold. Yeah.
Joey.
It's Nikki Kumar. They brought Nikki Kumar to handle all of Amelia's stuff.
Yeah, they did.
For me, I'd probably say. Honestly, I'd probably say Quantumania.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Stay on
about
brand,
that, too.
man. You
So
gotta,
the
you gotta
Captain
stay
Newton.
true to
Stay on
yourself.
brand. Then yeah, Loki season 2.
Even though Evangeline is in the Letitia category of being a dumbass,
Yeah.
She
I
been-
totally
she been
forgot about that.
Wild
Fuck.
in.
But Catherine Newton and Jonathan Majors outweigh her.
Catherine Newton, Jonathan Majors, more Paul Rudd, more Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm sure she'll get way more in this one than in the second one, which is great. More Michael Pena. We'll forgive you for being a
Yeah.
Scientologist.
Michael Douglas.
More Michael Douglas. Yeah, Ant-Man low key one of the best casts
Yeah.
in the universe.
David does
And that title
mushrooms.
is so cool.
David Desmalchin, yeah. They got rid of Ti because he's a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of times I got called Ti in high school, man.
Oh,
Not good.
high school
Evan, is
racism,
T.I.
not my
still in
favorite.
jail? Is T.I. still in jail? I was like,
Wait, were you in high
Daddy.
school when Ant-Man came out?
2015, like 1 year after I graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We graduated the same year then. Yeah,
2014, baby.
class of 14.
Hell yeah.
2019.
Life's going great.
Oh.
Wait, class of 18? You said
2019.
19. Oh, it's even
Nice.
worse.
2010.
10, baby.
Oh
That's a
my.
respectable year. What about you, Edgar?
18.
Oh God.
I feel old as hell. 26 years old. But
Yeah, I was in high school when the MCU started.
That's wild.
I was 7.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I went to see Iron Man 2 with a buddy in our tuxedos from our 8th grade formal. 8th grade formal happened that night. You're in there doing middle school shit.
Like these,
and then-
Eighth grade formal?
these Minions kids thought they were
The
onto
Minions?
something.
Oh, we invented that
Yeah,
for sure.
that shit's
Oh,
old.
dude.
For sure. God, I wish I had a photo so I could
My
say.
8th grade dance was lit.
Gentle minions.
There we go.
Yeah. Good
All
time.
right.
Bunch of freaks.
That was a good one.
Good one. I
Our
love
my
doing this
typical
list.
length is like 2:30 to 3 hours now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm very curious what our next list should be. Actually,
Um,
oh, we should do a year list. We should do a year.
yeah, let's do 2019.
Top
next.
10
I'll do
movies.
2019.
2019.
Top 10 movies starring Simu Liu that feature a dragon and a karaoke scene.
Yeah. Let's
Yo.
go.
Strange She and Barbie.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Barbie number 1.
Watch it be a dragon and Barbie, you know?
Hell
Just
yeah.
spend that hour talking about my man Benedict Wong.
Oh, he's the goat.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
He's so good in Multiverse of Men.
A Wong show like has to be a thing, right?
It has
Like,
to.
Like
Yeah, I
that.
hope
Like
so.
I feel like that's like 2 seconds away from being greenlit at all times
He's a
because he's just
Manchester lad.
he's been
They
such a
always-
breakout.
They have the Thunderbolts movie that just got greenlit.
Oh, yeah.
about
Yes, which will be we don't know the lineup, but you got to assume John Walker.
Probably did
Like,
announcements. to
John
something.
Walker, yeah, that's probably going to be announced. It would be cool if they did like they did with Avengers 1 and
Just
they
brought
brought
them
them
on.
out, but it was like with a clear, more shittier tone. Because
I
you
just
have
see that
Julia
doing
Louis
at
Dreyfus.
D23.
Yeah. Julia Louis
Quickly,
Dreyfus as Val, John Walker. I really want Yelena
Yelena.
to be an Avenger, but I
Yelena.
feel like she's going to be a Thunderbolt first.
I just want her to be in a road TV show with Haley Steinfeld. Is that too much to ask?
I just
Did
don't
that
want her to
season
be
two.
a
I want
Villanelle
that season
tribute
2.
act.
Yeah, give me Haley Steinfeld.
You don't
They
want her
need
to be what?
They need to tighten that up because they turned her into a Villanelle tribute act.
Yeah, they did.
In hockey.
They totally did.
Oh, I
From
I
Tony
didn't
Eve.
watch it, so
Oh,
I
your
didn't.
loss.
I
First
didn't
3
catch
seasons are
the,
good.
But-
Forget season
but-
4 exists.
But yeah, they were riding that wave way too hard.
Yeah.
for-
with her like vengeance stuff.
No, like
No,
just
she just like
her
really similar to that
mannerisms.
character.
I
like
thought
kind
she was
of.
pretty consistent with the Black Widow movie, though.
No,
I
don't
thought,
think
but
so.
having not seen Killing Eve, I thought that she
Yeah.
was because her
Good
whole thing in
Villanelle
Black
White.
Widow was like to me it felt natural because in Black Widow her whole thing was once this was settled, she was able to embrace the parts that she was clearly excited about, like buying clothes, different things. So
I mean,
like,
I
once
love
she
that
showed up in
character,
New
so
York,
I'm fine
she
with
felt
it.
like
But
she felt like
it was
a
really
you know,
similar.
but again I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
It's probably both. Like they
Yeah.
were able to do it because
Yeah.
it like worked.
Yeah.
Um,
Emboldened by it.
Yeah.
But like Evan said, Florence Pugh, Haley Steinfeld,
Who else did be on the lineup?
Yeah.
Abomination, maybe?
Abomination's a great call because Wong
Is he after
already kind of
She-Hulk?
Tim
seems
Roth.
to have him in custody.
Isn't he coming back for She-Hulk? Tim Roth?
And he's in She-Hulk. Yep.
Yeah, he's in the trailer.
I think that. Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp
Ooh, that'd be
because
great.
Ghost is a Thunderbolt in the comics.
Hannah John Kamen is a great actress.
Where's she been?
wonderful.
Yeah, dang, she's great.
She was in
The Force
where's
Awakens.
she? Yeah.
Besides that, in 1 second.
Isn't she? She's a Red Priestess in Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Is she?
One of them.
Huh.
She was in
Is it-
Resident Evil movie.
There's a couple of Red Priestesses that ended up being bigger actresses later in Game of Thrones.
Wow.
She's in
What
Black
else she's been
Mirror.
up to?
Never
Black
watched.
Mirror, yeah.
Yeah, she was
But
Jill
yeah,
Valentine.
they
in
probably would have
Red
done
City.
Thunderbolt Ross as Red Hulk if he had not passed away.
Rest in
But
peace.
I was waiting for them to cancel him because of the sexual assault stuff. Not to make it too dark,
Yeah.
3 hours into the podcast, but
If you're still here,
yeah, maybe let's litigate that. But maybe they'll recast Thunderbolt and just have him be Red Hulk when it starts or something if they really want to do that.
Yeah, he's not as big of a character. Like recasting it would be fine.
but now we have
Yeah.
Louis Dreyfus who can fill that role.
Yeah, she just fill that
Yeah.
role. Like,
And that's the thing is that what I'm excited about for that storyline, because what I like about Phase 4, and I've gone on about this, is that there's like 3 distinct things happening. There's like
yeah, it's not setting up
multiversal
just one
magic.
Avengers. It's
Yes,
setting up
it's
different
all of
things.
this. So like,
Yeah.
there's what's happening on Earth with Sharon having infiltrated the government, doing whatever she's doing. Val is clearly connected to Fisk somehow because Ellen. So Yelena and Val are connected, but Yelena can also be contracted out by Eleanor, who's working for Fisk. So that's a whole connection of people. That's going on there. Echo's building out. Matt Murdock is back. So that's a whole thing. All the multiverse and magic and occult is happening. And then cosmic is always happening.
Shang-Chi,
So,
Eternals, Thor.
yeah, Shang-Chi Eternal. Shang-Chi has his magical object. Then there's the Jin magical object that Kamala has. So is that linked? So there's all this shit going on. But I'm really excited to see in particular who is the shot caller. Is it Val? Is it Fisk? Is there going to be a power struggle there?
Shot caller sounds like a superhero name.
The shot caller.
It's going to be Sharon Carter.
You know what? I don't care for Emily Van Camp's Sharon. It's nothing against her.
I'm a fan of her character.
But I'm glad that they, like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, the twist came out of nowhere." I was like,
It didn't.
"Twist whatever," because at least
who
it makes it
cares?
interesting.
Yeah, give her.
It made her
let have
less
it.
interesting.
No,
Less.
How can you make her
Less.
less interesting?
You can't tell me.
She was bare minimum of a character.
You can't
She's,
tell
she's
me
a
the
she's a
government
sheet
doesn't
of
like
white
her.
printer paper.
Her storyline.
First in those movies.
Good point. But her storyline was just so out of this world in Falcon Winter Soldier. I was just like, I can't ride with this. Not a fan. But I like the actress. She's fine.
I just want Midnight Suns. I hope they both.
That's what
have
I'm
some.
talking
That's
about.
2025.
Like Moon Knight,
Make
Black
that happen.
Knight, Blade, Doctor
Just
Strange.
think about
That
that.
puts
cast
everyone
for
I
a
want to
second.
see together be together.
Think about
That's
that
super
cast.
exciting.
You would have a team led by Cumberbatch that features fucking Oscar Isaac, Gail Garcia Bernal, Kit Harington. If they chose to cast a Ghost Rider,
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala
Mahershala
Ali.
Bring
You
back
would
Diego
have
Luna.
what did
Bit
you
of a
say?
sausage fest.
I said just bring back Diego Luna. I mean, come on.
Gabriel.
We'll put in Wanda there if she
sorry.
comes
Yeah,
back.
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Although Diego Luna in MCU would also be very welcome
Ooh.
and awesome. Wanda has been on that team sometimes. Punisher is sometimes a Midnight Sun. He's sometimes the one non-powered member. So if you put Bernthal in there,
Bernthal. Oh,
it would be
When that's like
ridiculous.
starting to come out, I'm gonna become one of those people who makes one thing their entire personality.
At Nequitious Midnight Sun Stan.
The Midnight Sun. Yeah, that's just gonna be too much to handle. I don't even know if they can do it.
Yeah,
it's
that'll
like just
be
it's like too much.
that'll be
sexy on
Avengers but goth, and they should
Yeah.
totally either they should give it to Raimi or you know
Ooh,
who they should
yeah.
give it to? Someone I've been waiting to do a comic book movie that was offered one and turned it down. Aquaman. They need to give it to Peter
James
Jackson.
Wan. Oh.
Peter Jackson turned down Aquaman. Peter Jackson,
Peter
Yeah,
Jackson
Wan
going
should
back
do
to his
anything
demented
with it.
bullshit.
because he has his horror roots. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Even
you
King
took-
Kong has its moments.
yeah, that's so true. I forget all about that movie. sometimes.
Yeah.
If you took Peter Jackson's horror roots and even like Heavenly Creatures, like all that psychological
What has
shit
he
that
done
did, Get
He
Back.
did that
he did that
documentary.
World War I documentary. Like,
But the thing about Get Back is that
Oh,
it took
right.
up so much time because again, you can't leave Peter in a room full of footage
How
during a
long was that in
pandemic.
development?
A while,
A
because
few years, yeah.
he was supposed to make a documentary, and then I joked they took their eye off Peter for too long, and he made a 3-part event.
And they're like
'Cause
3 hours each, right?
He's the king of
Or-
over delivering on things. Like if they give him Midnight Suns, it will be as long as Return of the King, 100%. Yeah, that'd be great.
I gotta head out
So
though, Josh. Let's...
Benioff and Weiss.
Okay, let's do it.
You joke, but with a writer like again Benioff and Weiss, they learned how to direct on that show. You can see the progression. because people can hate on the finale all they want, and I get it. But the finale has some.
Okay, we're gonna end it right
shots
here,
in my head.
guys.
Some shots. No, we're gonna go another hour with Game of Thrones. Let's rank the
That's
Game
not
of
the end
Thrones.
of the
We're
video.
gonna keep
Why
going
not?
until
Nah.
everyone just passes out. This is a marathon stream, actually.
All
I'll be-
right.
Be away for another 1 hour.
So let's start with Mr. Alden Diaz. Where do people find you?
Being depressed in my room. You can find me at that Alden Diaz,
Feel that.
ThatAlden Diaz. Octo Radio Star Wars podcast. It's 3 shows there. One and Done Film Club. Go back and check out our whole back catalog before we come back. Hopefully, I'll have some job stuff to announce soon. But
Cool.
outside of that,
Okay.
follow me on Letterboxd. Catching up.
Yeah. Nice. Nitty Tumar. Where do people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Nequitious or don't. You miss me with that follow bullshit. Don't listen to my shows; they're not very good. And yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
One of my hosts, Evan. Where do people find you?
Follow me, Harris EV9. Currently loving Shang-Chi. Should have been on this list. But there's a lot of great shows. You guys should watch The Bear on Hulu. It's a great show.
So good. That first
Watch a lot of
episode.
anime.
You're plugging things that
Yeah.
are other people's things.
Yes, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's the Evan Harris staple.
We're giving recommendations.
If you do follow me right now, I'm currently tweeting about Big Brother 24, which is
Yeah, you started, right?
it's not
Good for you.
great this season. There is some unfortunate microaggressions towards a black contestant. which
Microtransactions.
is-
Microtransactions.
Exactly. But yeah, this cast is like mistreating this black contestant. It's not great.
Oh, man.
That's fucked up.
It's unfortunate. It happens like every other season. I'm like, this is like why I don't like the show sometimes. But anyways,
You should treat it like the classic Star Treks and just watch the non-racist ones.
Yeah,
Be like, oh, this is a racist season.
that's what I recommend for people. It's like, which season should I watch? I'm like, don't watch 15 or 17. Don't do that. But anyways, I'll be shooting about that. But yeah, follow Nathan Rojas because we'll be having a My Cup of Tea episode tomorrow. And on Tuesday, we're going to be watching Predator 2. We did a Predator commentary last week, which is very fun. But then, yeah, we'll be tweeting and talking about Miss Marvel finale this week as well on the podcast.
And my other co-host for tonight, Edgar. Where do people find you?
Hey, you can find me Instagram, Twitter, EDG or TG. Yeah, I'm working on some projects. Hopefully they'll be released sometime middle of this month. So yeah, keep an eye on that.
Nice. And for me, again, just want to echo what we said last week. This country is fucked. And of course, Roe v. Wade overturned. So that's the whole shit show that's awful in this country right now. So again, I linked some links for abortion funds and resources in the description because it's really important to do our best to make sure to contribute and help all of those funds and stuff. It's
Especially
really,
you as a
really
white
important.
man, Josh.
Exactly. Yes. Yes,
You got
that
work
is
to do,
important.
buddy.
I'm just
I
saying,
did, yeah.
Shang-Chi didn't make the top 10. Who is controlling the points? We need to look to
Who's
the
doing the
source.
math?
Fair game. But
Not the
on all
skill.
seriousness,
Yes.
go support that cause. 'Cause I put some good links in the description that you be great to help out. So, and yeah, you'd find me at Josh D. Woodbury, tweeting about all sorts of nonsense. You'd find this podcast, sorry, at WHFG podcast on Twitter for show announcements and other stuff. And that's basically it. Next show, don't really know yet, but we have some ideas.
A showbiz, baby.
I'll be there.
Yeah. These two people
I'll
from
be
my left will
there.
probably be there. To my right. Alright. So any closing thoughts?
This was fun.
Go watch
Garza,
Alien,
Garza
Josh.
lives.
Hell yeah.
Go watch Alien.
Yeah, go watch Alien. Weirdo.
Alright.